I'm going to show you how to make a super easy swag that fill up your Etsy shop. You can use these to decorate your home, adding little elements all over the place for the holidays. These are super easy. Let's get started. You're going to love this. To make this swag, what we're going to do is use 2 long sprays. I like using sprays that are pretty long and large. These are probably about 34, 35 inches with their stem. So you need a long, strong stem. And 2 of those works perfectly. So what you want to start off with is shake hands. And that's something I'm always adamant about teaching in design schools. You have to utilize all the built-in wires that come on your greenery and your sprays. When working with artificial florals, they come with all this wire, and especially with a lot of the higher quality pieces that we carry on Keleas.com, they have great wires. So use them, utilize them. We need 2 sprays with some good length and a good strong wire. And we're going to line these up, and you're just gonna kind of stack them. If you are in design school, we usually call this piggyback placement. When we have one kind of elongating the line of the other, I call that piggyback placement. Go ahead, shake hands, spread it all out, and then we're going to attach these together. So let's just flip it over so you can see the wires easily. Now I've got a beautiful pine cone here I really want to bring forward, so let me manipulate that a little so that comes forward. And if I do this length right here, this is about how this would look. And that's a little bit longer than I want, so I'm going to stack it up just a little bit tighter here. And no big deal, it'll just be a little fuller. So that means I'm going to manipulate some things. So I'm going to bring this pine cone on this side. So they're not exactly at the same point. So just kind of take your time and line them up. Okay, they both have this piece that runs down the middle. And we're going to kind of call that the spine. That's the support wire that everything's built on. And we're going to combine those together to make this a swag. So come in here. I'm using brown cable ties that help camo the whole look of this. So I'm going to bring that in tight. And because those are brown and kind of camouflage, you won't even see them. I'm going to trim those off. And you can get cable ties at any hardware store. They will have them. If they are a different color, you can use a leaf off of here. Just trim it off and cut it and glue it on, and it will hide that cable tie. You don't have to worry if you can't get that exact color. The next fun part is to make the hanger. And a super easy way is just to take this excess wire and bend it back. And you're going to get a very easy hanger. Now this stem is showing a little bit there to make that not look so neat and clean. So just bend it and trim it off. We can eliminate that, okay? So it'll make that look a little cleaner at the top. Now bring this back, flip it back around, and we're going to tie that right in here, and you have a nice built-in hanger. One of the things I learned in my many years doing craft shows for a living, I learned, customers really don't know how to hang it when they get home. So if you can make it really easy for them, if you're shipping it or selling it, even for yourself, if you're making this for yourself, when there's a hanger there, it's so much easier than just, oh, I got to figure out a way to wing it to hang it up. If this hanger's there, you are set. So we just made it. Easy peasy. If you didn't see our bow video already, this is our gorgeous 4-inch fat and juicy, beautiful bow. I have just pulled down the longer tails a little bit, and I've left the lower tails up high. Depending how you want it, you could even leave them stacked like when we made it. So I have added a cable tie to the back to attach it here, and that's going to go right up here at the top, exactly where we have this hanger. So go right to that same spot where we tied in the hanger, and then I'm going to get that nice and tight right there. So the hanger comes above the bow just a little bit. Really neat and clean and professional looking, okay? That sets you apart at a craft show, guys, and if you're selling on Etsy. That finished touches of having the hanger, making it easy for your customer to purchase the work from you and want to come back. Okay, I'm coming underneath now with these tails. I like to kind of layer them. And we didn't go all the way to the bottom with our tail length, but you could. You could make these tails long as you would like them. And I'm going to bring that one in, and then take this. I like to take the pine cone, and I just kind of want to change direction with it a little. Have it come up here and break that plane of these bows at the top, and just have those pop out a little. And look, y'all, we did it.
Guess what? It's peppermint time. Yep, we're going to use this gorgeous bow we made, and we are going to use our latest kit that even comes with the swag base ready to go. If you've never tried a swag before, Now is the time. You're going to love it. We're going to make it super simple and easy. You'll be able to put it together in a snap. So come on, Blueberinos, let's get in here and let's make it together. This is everything that comes in our kit. And the first thing you're going to want to do is kind of sort all your supplies out when you grab the kit. It's got these neat little white leaves that are a beautiful little glitter on there. Let me show you. It's a little bit larger, so look how pretty. It totally sparkles. That's going to add that really over the top sparkle. Then we have here some killer. These are candy canes, but they've got silver and a sparkle to them as well. And of course, we couldn't do without our red twigs. I love twigs so much, but when they're red and glitter, bonus. And then a couple of cute little lollipops, yummy, that are peppermint flavored. Don't eat them. Just for decoration, guys. But it's going to be pretty enough to eat, so I think you're going to love it. So let's jump right in and get started. When you get your swags, and this goes with any swags, you do have to fluff them out, basically. In design school, we call that shaking hands, and it's always an important part of the process. I kind of started on this one already, but what you're trying to do is give it a nice flat back, and that way it'll lay nice onto your door. And then the next step is to take some pieces and kind of have them come forward. So we have a little bit of that mixing in, into each section. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put this right on our wreath board here. And don't forget, our wreath making stands are available. They come natural brown. I've painted mine white, but they are super handy. Once you start making more pieces, you're going to want one, because the way they're designed, they allow you to push and pull without sliding around. They are tested over time. They're design I came up with many years ago, and plus my good friend Betty makes them. So they're made right here in the U.S. in Georgia, and we ship them out to you from Houston. I am very proud of them, so grab one of those. If you don't have one, you're going to love it. Now, I got to start with my background here, and my background in this design is going to be the twigs. I'm going to grab those first, and we're going to start to lay out how exactly big we want it to be. Now, I know I want to make a big bow, and I'll make a big statement with this, so I'm going to start with these, and we'll start by putting them in. Now, their stems are pretty long, which is kind of good. It'll allow us to be, have that stability to the base. I'm going to get my wire cutters out here. But I want these to kind of poke in and out, so they kind of have some good movement. So I'm going to take and trim that off right there. So it has a pretty good long stem. And then I'll take and dip this in the glue, and we'll start by putting our first piece in. Alrighty. Now, in design school, we talk about depth and dimension all the time, and how it's really important in our pieces, because the more depth and dimension we add, the little higher value our piece becomes or appears or looks. And that makes a big difference on our finished pieces. So I glued, and then I twisted some of the wires around to hold it in place. And we're going to do the same thing on the bottom. And I'm going to switch it around and kind of decide where I want my bow to be. And that's where we'll take and overlap the two. Okay? So I'm going to trim this one also. And let's load her up with glue and put her right in. So the glue kind of holds it temporarily, and then the twisting really makes sure it's going to stay in place. So I'm going to push this up into the base, and then we're going to twist. Make sure you grab the glue too. You want it to be nice and sticky on a bunch of pine. There you go, and twist this in. So this time of year, it's so fun to use the pine bases because we can let them show. We don't have to cover them up. But you can see we kind of extended the lines way off of there, which is exactly what we want to do, because today we're going to use a really, really big bow. All right. Before we get to that part, we're going to want to put in our curlicues that are actually, we're using them at Christmas time. We use them for candy canes, right? Fun, silvery candy canes. And we're going to kind of repeat where these are. We're just going to go a little bit lower. And I'm going to take and twist the curls where they kind of match where the red pieces are. So we're just going to lay it right on top right there. And I'm going to build that up. And in design school, we talk about, that layering and bringing color around. And we go into a lot of depth about that because it's important with your lines that you're creating and all of that to, you tell a story with your pieces. That's what we're going to do right here. Tell a really great story about how yummy and cute all of these peppermints are. So that one goes in right there. And now I'm gonna grab the other one and we're gonna flip it around and have it go the opposite from that one. So I'll just have this one come down and it'll be a little shorter. So you can see we've kind of shifted up. So our bow is gonna be up higher. And that way we can have that pretty pieces come down between our beautiful tails on our bow. So if you don't have a link to the bow video and you need it, just let us know, because the bows are filmed separately and in different videos. So just ask and we'll get you the link to the bow video too. And on supply list or on the kits, when you go to Keleas.com, there is links there to find all the videos for that kit. So you can go and watch and enjoy and snag the kit for the project you want to do. Okay? I'm going to twist that around. And then when you're ready to really make a higher level design, you can come join us in design school, where I'm going to take you through the process and you're going to learn how to do it for the long haul, and your work is going to be stunning and next level. Because that's what we want to do. Like, we're not content with basic. We want to go next level, baby. All right, grab your white leaves. They're going to go in next. And we're going to be using them all to add our glittery shine to kind of pump up the white pine in here. But before we even put these in, let's go ahead and put the bow in so we're not covering them up. So I'm going to set that aside for a second and grab your luscious bow. This is the fun part, because literally it's going to come together so quick. Now we're going to tie this in the center just around all the goodies we had already put in. Remember, I already have a cable tie in the back of the bow, so I'm ready to attach it. And it's going to go in right here. And I'm going to pull that around and just pull it tight, possibly. I made such a big bow. I love it. I just adored this 4-inch ribbon. So I knew we were going to have to celebrate it in style, because it was going to pull this whole design together. Now, once you get it in the center, it's your job to take and manipulate the tails and make them work for you. Have some dimension. Yeah, I'm doing it again, more dimension. You're gonna be sick of dimension by the time we're done here. But that is my thing. That is what I love to teach and how important it is. You can design all you want with pretty things, but if it looks flat and you don't use color and lines and texture to really just, utilize these beautiful pieces that you're buying to put together, you're missing out. You are missing out. All right, I got my candy. Bring your curls forward. We want them to stick out. Oh, yeah. So cute. I'm going to bring my little candy ribbon over. And then in the center, I will have this curl coming out and this big one down here. Just have them work out and really come out between the ribbon, because that'll hold that out there too. Hold it in place. Let's bring this in. Okay, oh yeah, look at it already. Like, it's good already. Simple. Okay, now the leaves, now those leaves. So we really want to pop the top first, because that's the most important part up here. These have a really long stem. We don't need it that long. We're going to trim that off a little and keep it at about 4 inches. And I'm going to start right here in the center. We're going to start to put these in around the bow. So right here, going to go into the pie right behind that bow. We'll pop that first one in. Oh, beautiful. Let's put one right underneath the bow, the same place. I cut that one a little bit shorter because we don't need to fight for space. And when I'm putting it in, I'm trying to get it right underneath that cable tie, right in there. Okay, layered up, gorgeous. All right, we got those two pieces in, just kind of working opposite, and now let's jazz it up. I'm gonna put another piece up high, so we'll have that come out of that right top corner and really jazz it up here. So I'm gonna bring this in, kind of layer it in right next to where you put the candy cane, and I can kind of slide that in there so the glue holds. Oh yeah, see how those kind of go like this? Exactly what you want. Now let's come down. And we're going to work some more of this sparkle right out of the middle. We're just going to zigzag it down. You get 5 pieces of this in the kit, so you've got enough to kind of jazz it up. And it really takes the basic pine up a notch, and I think it looks great in here. So I told you you're going to zigzag it, so you're going to bring this one into the right. And I'm going to try to just slide it right in here. And there's a piece of the pine going over the candy cane, and I was able to put it in just right there. And we're going to go one more down low. This is a great kit. I think you're going to love it. All right, let's go. Let me bring it up a little bit while we put that bottom piece in. And we're going to zigzag it to the other side. So when I see it zigzag, all you're doing is just crisscrossing, kind of. One to the left, one to the right. And I'm going to grab this one with pine because there wasn't a great place to put this one. Like the others, I could kind of sneak in a little crevice. Oh my gosh, look at it close. Ready? Whoa! Stunning! Y'all make sure you check out the finished images at the end of the video. But we're almost done. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba. Next, candies. Candies are in. They're just a classic favorite look. And these have a little bit of pop of white. So we're going to put one up high and one up low, one down low, or we could just stagger two high. You could play with it. If you wanted to just do two high, we could do one up here, right in here, and we could do one a little tighter to the bow, which would be really super cute. That wasn't my original plan because I thought we would do one coming out of the bottom of the bow, but the ribbon and the leaves look so good down here. Let's just jazz these up at the top. I think that'll look excellent. So I think we do like one, we could do one here, maybe one high here, and then one a little lower here, vice versa. I think I like it the opposite, high and low. Let's do it. Let's glue it. And do that on your piece. You know, stick it in, play with it, see what you like better. Step back. You know, I can show you how and give you all the lessons, but I'm excited when you use your own creative process to kind of change it up and do what you enjoy and love, because then that's where the magic happens. Literally, the magic starts to happen. And then you develop your own style and your look, and I'm here for inspiration, but then you take it from there, and that is the best part. That's what I'm so proud of all of my Blue Merinos in design school, because they learn to do that over time. And man, do you see it in their work? It is amazing. So I'm trimming this one down just a little bit, make it a little shorter because I'm going to go in tighter to the bow. And these have a little bow on. I'm leaving that on because that is so cute. It just adds a little extra touch. And I'm going to try to get this in the cable tie where the bow is. Yep, perfect. And then that'll come in right there and move those around. And yep, we did it. We did it. It is adorable. It's cute, it's classy, yeah, and it's jazzy. Man, with that bow, $1,000,000 on your door. So if you're doing peppermint or you got a space you could put this in, it would look great if you have one of those tinsel red trees we did. We made those red trees that we put up on the candlesticks. We look excellent with that. You guys, tonight we're going to be working with some beautiful kind of wintry textures, but I haven't played with these peonies in anything yet, so I'm eager to play with them, and let's see what kind of we can come up with. I'm going to start fluffing out my wreath base to start, and I want to play with this beautiful new, it's kind of like a cypress that's cedar that's snowy, and it's got some little red berries in it. Hi, Stacy. I'm glad you're here too. You guys, if you're in design school, you want to go take a look at the newest tutorial. I love it. I can't wait for you guys to see it. I hope it gives you some ideas of projects you can knock out for craft show season and all that kind of stuff. Aren't those pretty, Kelly? I agree. They're really pretty too. They are just got a really thick bloom. It's like so chunky. Hi, Pat. So guys, we are going to start off with this base tonight, and it was too late for me to text y'all to let you know we were live and all that stuff because we were volleyballing. But don't forget to get a spot on our text list. And design school has just opened this week. So we only open up twice a year. So we were sending out an email today to everybody on the wait list to give them first chances to get in. And then if you want to get into design school, all you need to do is text us the word bloom, okay? So I'm going to be live this next week talking all about it, and hopefully our students will be joining us live too. So if you have questions, you can ask, but I'll be live quite a bit while we're making and creating together.
So this is a smaller wreath base. It's an 18-inch pine, and I don't spend a whole lot of time opening it, but I just want to get a nice kind of even shape when I go around. Let's start with that first. Hi, Judy. I'm so glad you're here too. I hope everybody's having a great evening and had a great start off to your week. Is anybody over here on TikTok watching? I see you guys watching. Yay. Hello, my TikTok viewers. You don't have to be quiet. You can chat it up if you want, or you can just watch and have some fun. Either way is good. Triple D's here. Hey, Debbie Davis. Glad you're here to come and hang out with us. I think we're going to start off making our perimeter. We're going to use this guy. And I've got 2 of these bushes. Hopefully it doesn't take more than 2 because I don't think I have more than 2 here. But we're going to get started with it. So I'm going to trim these off. And let's decide if we're going to cut them or not. So I'm going to be making this on the table. So you're going to see me spin it around a lot. So I normally wouldn't put a wreath on a Lazy Susan. But I think we're going to do that tonight. And live on the edge. Living on the edge. Y'all, I was screaming so much at the volleyball game. Oh, it was crazy. Do I have the small bases? Yes, Teresa, we do. We have these small bases in stock. We're going to have a whole supply list for you when we're done. But it's item number 50562. Oh, I don't know if that's the greenery. Nicole can tell us in a minute. She'll tell us, okay? And she'll put it in the comments, Teresa. Stacy, you got me on the big screen? Exciting, Stacy. Exciting. No football tonight. Stacy's a big football fan, so we're not in college football night tonight, just Monday Night Football. Hey, from Wyoming. Good to see you. I'm glad you're here. Okay, let's start putting these in. Now, hi, Vicky and Ramona. If you've never worked with a pine base, one of the nice things about it is you can easily put things in with glue. And what you do is you put it in with glue, but then you wrap it too. So I've got extra pieces that I can bring around to stabilize the pieces I'm putting in. So pine bases are super forgiving and not so expensive, just basic pine. And then you can add fun things to it to soup it up, okay? Oh, Bonnie loves football too. Good, Bonnie. You're not a Florida Gators fan because I don't know how many of those I can take. No, I'm just kidding. Y'all, I got no skin in the game when it comes to football. Kaya's my super football fan. She was with her grandpa at the U of H game this weekend, and they got rained on. It was a whole thing. So, you know, it was quite the experience. Although she's been many a times, and then I think they ended up losing to KU. Jeez, all that for the loss. Hi, Dita. Hi, Dee Dee. I'm glad you're here. Look at Stacy putting her gators. She's just putting it right in there. Y'all are so funny. Everybody's got their teams, don't they? The Astros have been doing pretty good, and I don't even follow. I have been just so busy with life, and Kaya's really excelling in volleyball, so we're like all into volleyball. So I don't even know who plays for the Astros practically anymore. My dad is embarrassed to call me his daughter. Bonnie likes KU. Oh, geez, you beat our Cougars here last week. We went down. Hey, from Georgia. Good to see you over here on TikTok too. You guys, wherever you're watching, we are very thankful you're here. And please come and hang out anytime. I teach floral design. We have a class and all the things. We have a website where we sell all this good stuff you see us using. And we appreciate all of our customers and students. Without you, we would not have a business, and we're thankful for you. Stacy, these bases are actually pretty nice for the price. And you can come way off of them. I'm starting here just to kind of create my shape. And you can see how far I'm already coming off of it. So we're going to go all the way around. Hi, Sheila. And then I think we're going to add in some peonies, some twigs. We've got some plants. Bonnie's like, yay, we beat you. Bonnie, you're supposed to be like, man, I'm sorry, but, you know, may the better team win. Something not like that. Not, yay, we beat you. Jeez. Just took a beating. All right. Those of you in design school, when you go watch this week's tutorial, the base is so super cool. I will talk about it some more in the morning when I'm live with y'all tomorrow. I got back and it's completely dry now, and I love it. It's so cool. That's a little tease. It's a little tease for everybody else, but it turned out so cool. Yeah, if you guys want information about design school, you're going to text us the word Bloom, B-L-L-O-M, and B-L-O-O-M, yeah. I'm like, how do you spell Bloom? Our text number is 832-734-5201. That's where you want to text us. Kimmy said the KDS tutorial is beautiful. Thank you, Kimmy. It's really pretty, and it's so easy. So it's one of those that I think could be a great multiple item for Etsy, or if you do craft shows, I think it would be just brilliant. And you'll have to go check it out. Hey, Barb. Hey, Janice. Glad you guys could join us tonight. Okay, let me bring this one in here. So you can see every time I'm putting it in, it is glued, but then it's also wired. So we're just crisscrossing those wires on there. Oh, thanks. Nicole just pinned that to the post here in Facebook. Now, if you're watching over on YouTube, just ask, okay? Anytime, wherever you're watching, if you need a link to another video or a course or a class, or you want to, oh, where is the wreath base you're working with, Clay? Anything like that, just ask, and we are in there coming back, replying to the comments so we can help you. We don't want you to feel lost. You can always email the team also at info@keleas.com. And we're like full service over here, trying to get you what you need and what you want. And, making sure you can continue on your floral journey. Look how gorgeous this is. I mean, all we've added is 2 greenery bushes. This is so pretty. So I was going to make this a wreath, but I think now we should make this an all-around centerpiece. And have it where we could put a big candle, a big battery operated candle in the middle. Y'all always safety first. I'm going to cut this one into 2 pieces because I want to put a little there and a little here. So let's make it a centerpiece. I'm going to bring this one in and just bring that over. I think that will be fun. Or even, you know, like a snowman could come out of the center. Whatever you want. This icy new greenery is thebomb.com. I can't believe we just put 2 bushes in here and it looks this good. It's really nice and full. Right now, we're literally making fall, Christmas, and Halloween for all kinds of different videos and projects. That's funny. All seasons are going full swing. Okay, that's a pretty good start. I like that. Now, let's come in. And let me bring in the peonies. Now, I was going to make this a wreath, but I think we're going to put, I think we'll make it a centerpiece, okay? Okay, y'all. There's some situation going over here on Facebook. Some are saying there should be a Santa in the middle. Some are saying there should be a snowman in the middle. So you know what? That brings up the debate. The debate. Hey, Charlotte, just text us the word bloom to that number, okay? I know it's a little confusing, but get on your phone and text that number, 832-734-5201. Text us the word bloom, okay? Just like if you're sending a text to somebody. Same way. So y'all got to let us know if you're Team Snowman or Team Santa, because there's a whole debate going on Facebook now. We were all friends, and now we just pick sides. Okay, let's get the peonies open, and we'll get them into place here. This is one of these new bushes. It's got a lot of heads. So I'm not going to use the greenery. The greenery is a little bit more muted than I really want to go in here. You could keep it if you wanted, but I'm going to take it out. And then I'm going to just cut each of these fairly short to a couple of inches. These are going to be pretty tight to the design. Oh, we're going to put some twigs in. We're going to go to town. Look at, we've got Santa, a snowman. Now we've got another snowman. Cindy says snowman. Oh, no. Where is this debate going? Team Snowman, Stacy. Bonnie is just Team Santa. Hey, I swing either way when it comes to these. I go either way. Santas and snowmen. All right, let's pop in some clusters of peonies, and I'm gonna just kind of create some little clusters and see if I like it or not. Let's just start with that. Sheila likes snowmen. Oh, nice. I love it. Let's put these in here. So one of the classic design mistakes people make is they want to spread everything out everywhere. It's better when I'm using these larger heads like this to go ahead and cluster them. This wreath also has a direction and a flow. So instead of trying to fight that, we're going to try to stay in that flow. Okay, so this is all the kind of stuff I teach in design school, and I want you to try to kind of pay attention, because this is the kind of stuff that makes your work stand out from a novice who's never done this before. You can stand out and be a little bit more professional. Okay, so I'm going to take out this little piece right here because it's not really a true red. I'm going to pull that out, and we're going to just use these little hydrangeas in here, tuck them in, and I'll save this. This is a little more corally, so it would go good with some of the fall things. Bonnie, no one is on Santa team tonight. You are alone. Bonnie's like, what? What happened? Santa's team is coming, Bonnie. They're coming. Here's a little smaller bloom. We can pop in here. So I'm just going to make 3 pretty little clusters. Okay. And once I'm happy with that, I can go ahead and glue them in. Ramona says, if I keep it, Santa, then after Christmas switch to snowman, right? Ramona's like, she's going to do both. So I'm just going to dip these in my glue pot. I'm going to make sure they go into my base and not shoot out the back. Okay, it's real important that I am not going too far. And make sure they're being grabbed by that pine when you put them in, okay? And if they aren't enough, you're going to take and just grab that stem with the pine. So we started off with just an inexpensive base, and now we're working our way around. We're putting in 3 different peony clusters. Oh, y'all, I like both. Santa Snow. Is there any Nutcracker people? Deb, you love the flower clusters? Good, Deb. Clustering is a whole design structure and technique we learn in design school, and that's what we're using today. Okay? So it just gives you this pop of color, and it's going to give us these little sections in between. It's easy to add our next elements. Make it so easy. So if you're not on our email list and you guys did not get an invite to design school because you weren't on the wait list yet, no worries, you can get an invite. We'll be sending them out in regular business hours, not here in the middle of the night, but just text us the word Bloom, B-L-O-O-M. Even if you're watching the replay, text us the word Bloom, and you can get a link for design school. It's 832-734-5201. And it's our weekly class where I teach floral design, all silk flowers. I'm a high-performing Etsy seller. I've sold thousands of wreaths and now many thousands of supplies, taught thousands of students. So all of those things help me be a better teacher, help you learn from all of the mistakes I've made over the years. But I did craft shows for a living for 17 years, guys. I was a teacher when I first started, and then I ended up doing craft shows full-time. So I'm very familiar with all of that. And then we went online, and I started shipping wreaths all over the country. I really didn't, I'll be honest with you, I didn't ship a lot out of the country because it ended up being a big pain. But I enjoyed that part of my career, and now I still sell wreaths and do all of that, but my focus is teaching and sourcing and designing supplies that are so unique and different, where your work will stand out against everyone else's work out there, and you won't be just looking like all the big box store wreaths or getting your supplies from Hobby Lobby and all those kind of places. You're getting your supplies from somewhere else where your work's going to be unique and different. So this is one of our really fun picks. It's got twigs, it's got berries, and it's got pine cones, okay? And this will all be on the supply list. Hey, Linda, I miss you too. I'm glad you're here, y'all. Linda's a KDS student who has been recovering some big surgeries, and we are so glad to see her here. Sheila, hydrangeas would be beautiful just in these same 3 spots, guys. Magnolias would be gorgeous. You could use a cluster of magnolias in each of these sections. I could use a just a single one. You can do any of that. Yes, it'd be fine, Sheila. That sounds beautiful. I'm glad you're here, Linda. So this is called shaking hands. It's my term for spreading out your pieces, okay? It's real important. This is something you'll see people do. They just get in a hurry. They shove the piece in that they just got, and they're very excited about it, and they put it in, but they forget to do this part. Okay, now some of this is real twigs. Some of this is wired. So anything that's wired, I'm making sure it's facing front. I like to take these twigs and curl them and really get rocking. You guys, you have to text the word bloom to 832-734-5201. It's not here in the comments. No matter where you're watching, you're texting that phone number. Okay? It's a little bit different. And it's going to give you the information about design school. Okay, we have 3 of these clusters, so we're going to work these in each of these open zones. All right, and let the party get started. So I need to cut this one a little bit shorter though, because it's shooting out like a million miles. Don't shoot out a million miles, please. We'll cut it a little shorter. Okay, so I've shaken hands with all of those. They're also pretty. I'm gonna hit it with the glue. And now we're gonna just come in. I'm gonna try to tuck this right under where my cluster was. Right there. Oh, perfect. Now I want this to come out and like create that dimension. That's something else we talk about and teach in design school is depth and dimension. It's my personal opinion. The more depth and dimension you have on your design, the higher price you can get for it if you want to sell your pieces. The more it's going to stand out in your home if you just make your pieces for yourself. Anybody can make something flat and throw some stuff on a base, but when you start to add that kind of dimension, it really, really matters. So try to implement that in your next project that you're doing for yourself. You haven't shaken hands since May, I know. You've been focusing on other stuff, Linda. Linda had an injury that resulted in some rehab and all that. She's doing great. She's working really hard, I know that. And we're so proud of her for not giving up, Linda. Not that you would have given up, but that's a lot. I just had a measly little knee surgery at the same time she was having all this stuff, and I can't imagine everything she was going through. Okay, let's put the third one in right here, and I'm still kind of tucking this one in behind. I'm going to cut it a little shorter. But you can see already we're adding just so much dimension. I love that part. Let's nip this one. I really could use a little bit bigger cutter, but so far we're just using 1 pick of this one. And then I'm going to bring some twigs in because I want some more twigs. We're not done with twigs yet. And I just have this on a Lazy Susan, guys, so when you see me spinning it around, that's all I'm doing. I'm just giving it a little spinorama. Right? So quickly, twigs take it to the next level. I mean, it was pretty before, but we just stepped it up a level. And we're not done with the twigs yet. Okay, they're just starting. Going in. Now, I'm going to pull out these big birch twigs, and we're going to put these in too, just to get a little more action, okay? Let's bring these guys in. I don't think I've worked with this one in a while, so let me just tear it and see what I get. I'm going to tear these out, and we're going to work all of these in. Okay, bring all these in. I know it, Stacy. Twigs are my favorite. Anything that gives it that depth and we can come off. We got some gorgeous fall berries in that just came in, and they're dangly berries. I don't know how y'all feel about that, but they're dangly. Oh my gosh, I haven't even asked you guys to follow, like, and subscribe. Could y'all do that, please? If you enjoy our videos, no matter where you're watching, follow, like, subscribe so you won't miss a minute. We've got lots of beautiful pieces coming out for Christmas and fall. And I'm not quite done with Halloween yet. I've got some personal projects, so you're going to see us doing a little bit of everything. I'm pretty excited. We're working on a new studio. And Honey Bunny's got that started. I've given design school students a little sneak peek, but we've got more coming. It's exciting. All right, I'm going to use my little zigzag technique to start adding these birch pieces in. And I prefer just to grab it with that twig if I can too, and not just glue, okay? Just to have a little bit more control. And even though these twigs are coming in, I want to make sure I do direct them a little. They're just not shooting wild. We're still staying with the flow of the design. Okay, let's keep bringing these. Oh my gosh, we're about to get twig levels unknown. You know, this kind of design is beautiful to put any type of bowl in the middle too. If you've got to do like a fresh flower arrangement, a beautiful glass bowl that you might already have can go in the center, and you can fill that with floating candles. There's just all kind of options. Linda Halloween, you know, you guys, Linda does a gorgeous Halloween display every year. I know that's probably not in the cards this year, but Linda, I'm sure the time will come again. You'll get back to doing it. Okay, I'm working these around the perimeter, and then I'm bringing a couple of these shorter pieces to the center. Still manipulating them every time I am, okay? I'm giving them some motion. Y'all, and I've got to do some Happy Mail. I've got so many videos to do. I'm going to be videoing till kingdom come. All right, keep going around. And what we're going to do when we're all done, we'll post the supply list up on the website. We won't be texting it out or notifying anybody tonight because it's too late. And we could blame that on Kaya because she was volleyballing till the midnight hour. But, man, she played good today. Y'all, she's really getting better. I'm so proud of her. She's working so hard. And she's making good grades. But she's only been 13 a week. And the attitude is kicked in already. So y'all might want to pray. Do some extra little prayers for me that I can know how to parent a teenager. Because it's all new, uncharted territory. It makes me nervous. All right, so I keep working my way around. And basically, I like a lot of twigs, so you're probably going to see me OD it a little bit, but that's up to you and your level. And that's something I do teach on tutorials in design school. I give you stopping points so you can feel like, okay, I don't have to go any further. I could stop here. Or, okay, maybe I do want to take this one up to the next notch and go to town. Lori, you love this one? Awesome! I'm glad you do. I'm having fun. We're working our twig magic right now. I'm going to keep going around the outside. We're not done yet. Dee Dee, you remember those days with the teenager? Oh, my. Yes, fun times. Oh, yay. Nicole just posted the supply list, guys. So if you're on our Facebook feed, you can get the supply list right here. She's got the link for you. If you're on if you're just watching somewhere else, you can go to Keleas.com. That's KELEAS.com. And then what you want to do is click on supply lists, and this will be the most recent one. It should pop up. Your girl has added attitude, Stacy, since she was 10. Oh my gosh. Y'all. Praying for all the teenager mommies. Oh, Stacy. Woof. You really like the twigs? Nice. Nice. Me too. And because these twigs are wired, we can like really come up and go crazy with them. I think they're so fun. Now I'm going to take a couple of these really big ones, and I'm not going to cut them now. And we're going to use these to kind of overlap more. Tammy says, you'll be great. You're a wonderful mom. It does get easier. Yeah, I thank you, Tammy. You're very kind. Kaya has been an exceptional child. So when she's testing, you know, our boundaries, it's just new for us. And it's going to be okay. But it's definitely new. Yeah, if you want, Tammy, if you want to get the link for design school and check it out and research it, no problem. Just text us the word bloom, okay? BLOOM. And the number is 832-734-5201. 832-734-5201. 888-834-5201. And if you text us the word bloom, it will text you the information back to sign up for class. And we'll be talking more about it all week, okay? Basically, we give you about a week to join, and then it closes, okay? I'm going to put my last piece in. All right. You can see I've worked the twigs in a lot. We've gotten super duper twiggy, but you know what? I'm loving it. I'm loving it. And you could curl these up tighter. Like if you wanted to go crazy, these could curl back on themselves. You could just go to town. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? And when we put something in the middle, I will see if I've got a fun Santa that could go in the center of this. That would be stunning. Y'all, I think this one turned out great. And I made it to be more of a centerpiece, but certainly it could hang. I think this would be gorgeous with like a beautiful cardinal. If you like signs in your work, a beautiful cardinal sign right in the back in the center would be stunning. I think that would work well. A lot of things you could do with this particular design. And when you go crazy with the twigs and have a lot of fun, I think it just takes it to the next level. Hey, Bloomerinos, we're getting ready to make our latest wreath kit, and this one is lush. We're talking about lush, beautiful Christmas greenery with the most adorable ribbons, because we're talking that natural look. Look at these Christmas greeneries we're going to be using here. The cutest ribbons, including this one with a stitch, that one with the jute, and then this really neat scalloped and a beautiful green color. It's so perfect. And just to add that little bit of Christmas whimsy, that nice little touch, we are going to be adding some bells that have got that rustic vintage look. So you're going to love this combo. I think you're going to enjoy the process of making this for yourself. So get in here and watch this video. We're going to have fun. So let me show you what's coming in the kit. It's starting off, we got a 12-inch wreath base, and this one is a grape vine, and that's going to be our base we're going to build it on. Then let's talk about our greeneries. We've got this real touch. It's a cedar. It's a mix of cedars and a little bit of pine. It's really, really nice, and it lays flat on the back, so you don't have all that excess weight. It's really nice, and it gives you that nice flowing feel. Then we've got a pine that it's really poofy or really cool. This one we're going to use to give depth to that piece. So we're going to be mixing those together. Then we have 3 different ribbons. This one has a stitch on the edge, and that one really cute. Then we've got our basic burlap in the lighter color. And the creme de la creme, this one is so pretty. It is a jute, you know, I love this stuff, but it's wired and it has a scalloped edge. So the combination of all those together is really, really fun. We're going to make the best bow. All right. So let's get in here and let's get started. So grab your cedars that come in your kit. And by the way, if you're wanting to grab this kit, just drop that in the comments right here and we'll tell you where you can find it. If it's still available, all that stuff, you guys, it's FOMO around here. If you see it, you better get it because this stuff is gone. First of all, kind of deciding on my length. So I'm going to take this piece of cedar and we're going to kind of decide how far I want this to come off our design. I like it right about here. So I'm going to cut this down a little and we'll put it in. Now you're going to need your own wire cutters and you're going to need your own hot glue. Of course, I'm using an electric skillet with the hot glue. And I like to use Spanish moss to cover my glue and help put things securely in my wreath. So when I push this in, I'm kind of bringing it down, starting with that right there. So I've got my Spanish moss just right here. And I'm going to tuck it in right there to hide that. That looks great. So that's my first piece kind of cascading down. And in design school, we always set our perimeter first. And what that means, we're working on the outside of our design in. And I'm going to do that over here too, because I know I'm going to want one of these over here, kind of flowing down. And I think we'll leave this part of the wreath open. So think about that too. You want that to be a section that looks half decent. Sometimes wreaths are a little wonky, but that's okay. We can always use them. We just kind of rotate them around to use the prettier parts showing and hide the pieces that are a little bit crazy. You know, just like we do with our bodies, right? If it's a little crazy, we're We're gonna drape something over it, or do something if we feel like we're looking a little crazy. Same thing here. So I'm gonna bring this piece to the top. So those are working opposite right now. And then I'm gonna come in with a little bit of moss to hide my glue again. And be careful, don't get burnt. All right, I want that to kind of sag down a little bit more. So the neat thing about all of our florals is they're gonna have a nice strong wire, and the pieces you get in this kit are set up just like that for success. So let's cut down this pine bush right here, and I'm gonna do that all the way around. Are you ready? Here, introduce some great music. We cut that into that. All right, now I'm gonna bring this one in, and we're gonna start to layer it in so we make this feel like it's a continuous flowing piece. Kind of work backwards. And I'm gonna put these in. These are gonna give you a little bit of depth and layer it up, okay? Now, if you're just a beginner, you can build this by just sticking everything in, lay it flat on a table, just get started. And then as you get a little more experience, you can glue it while you're going. But when you're just beginning, I can just start by putting it all in and totally not gluing it to start with, okay? So I can feel comfortable with my placement. So I've got 3 down here, and be careful, don't get burnt. Come around the curve, and we're sticking with our flow that we created earlier. That looks good. Be careful coming out the back. That piece I put in, it just came out the back. So I want to redo that. Yeah, these look so good together. Let me show you how good they're looking. Look at that. Look at that. I know. We got a good vibe going. Okay, I'm going to come back a little bit more here. And I'm going to still keep these going up and these going down over here. We like to choose a direction and stick with it. All right, that looks excellent. So now we're ready to grab our other 2 cedar sprays. I'm going to bring those in next, right here. And we're going to lay those into the little areas we just created, okay? They're going to lay in perfectly. Y'all stick with me, because I got the good stuff in here. I got the good stuff. I'll hook you up for success. All right. Let's bring this one to the bottom. We're gonna lay it right in there where we just talked about. Yep, I'm gonna give that a little bit of a curve. We want it to flow into there. And now it's created a little bit of depth by putting that pine underneath. Here comes my moss. We're gonna cover that. Let's go on the top side. Same thing up here. I'm gonna bend it a little bit so it kind of cups like this, and that'll give you more depth. So without adding a bunch of greenery underneath and having that real heaviness, we are creating the same look with a little bit of less there. Oh yeah. Ooh, that looks good. Okay, moss. So I just take my moss, I just take a little pinch off like this, okay? I just pinched it out, and then I just take and ball it into like a little ball. That's all I'm doing. And then I take the ball and push it into the glue or push it into a crack. And it just kind of helps sandwich that all in and hold together. Okay, I love it so far. Okay, I'm grabbing bush number 2. We're gonna cut these. You know, while I'm cutting these greenery up to continue with the video, I wanna make sure you realize how much we appreciate you being here and watching this video and hanging out with us and allowing me to be your local flower pusher and your creative friend, because without you, we can't do what we do. Without you watching the video, interacting, liking, following, subscribing, sharing with a friend, all of that stuff keeps us around and allows me to continue to do this. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you for doing that for us. And please do that for all your creative people you like and content creators. It keeps their content getting pushed out to more people. by your interacting and, you know, just giving us hearts or likes. Just coming in and being a part of our community is so important, not just for me, but for anybody you like online and enjoy their content. So make sure you're taking the time to do that. And it gives back to them. And of course, if you can spend money with any of those people, that's the icing on top. The cherry, it is even better. So keep that in mind and always remember we're thankful for you. So let's get in here and start adding these in. Now I want a little bit more here around the center. So some of these we're going to need to cut just a little bit shorter when we put them in. So I'm going to do that right here. And I'm going to put this on the left. Put this one on the right. Kind of have these going down still here. I love that. It's really pretty. I'm going to kind of tilt this a little bit more. And then let's have this one layer on top. And then what we're going to do is crisscross them up here on the top. And I'm going to have this go on the right and this on the left. And they're going to go on either side. And this is going to be our what we call our bow zone, where our bow is going to go in a little bit. So I keep playing with these, making sure this one I want to go down a little deeper. You got to go a little deeper. Okay, you got to get in there a little deeper, buddy. So sometimes you just got to cut it off and re-glue it. Don't worry about that. Okay, I love this flow. It's looking really good. Now I'm going to extend the line up higher with my last cedar spray, and that's going to make it just a little more full up here. So I'm going to take and make sure we get some movement on these. Let's come right up into here. And see how I kind of made this thicker up here where it's going to cascade down. Now, with our other pieces, I'm going to go right beside it, kind of filling in this hole right in here. Yes, looking great. Let's go right here. And when I step back and I'm looking at it, what I'm trying to do is check my line, my outside line. I'm watching that and I'm making sure that this has got the movement I want it to have. It does, it does. I love it. All right, how about one more right coming in between those two layers here. Okay, guess what? It's gonna be bow time. And we made the bow on another video. So we're gonna be putting it in next. It is really fun. It's asymmetrical. We have more loops on the top and less on the bottom. And the fun thing is we are gonna be adding our bells right in our bow. I'm gonna leave the jute just hanging right off of them. And we're gonna put these in next. I really want these to cascade down. So I'm gonna think about this flow. I'm gonna bring that over a little bit because I want them to cascade down on top of my greenery. So I like that. And I am going to take and I'll cable tie this part right here. This is also where the bow is gonna go in a little bit so you aren't gonna see it. So you can use wire, cable tie. I'm pushing it into the back and bringing it up. There it goes. So I'm going to put this on first. And I have them hanging where like two are lower, one is higher. Now, I love these hanging, but I don't want them to be wild, crazy out on my door. So I'm going to give you a little trick. First thing I'm going to do is cut off these loops because we don't need it to be a full-on garland. So we're just going to cut that off. Cut the loops off. And then we're going to just take a little bit of wire and tie these, not where they look tied back, but I've got some brown wire. We were saving this off of another project. So we're just going to attach these, and we want it to look like it's hanging. So I don't want to mess with it too much. The hanger is going to be right over here, and these are going to hang down. So the hanger on this wreath will be right about there. So I'm going to take these and just gently tie them back a little bit. Don't suck them down. Just keep them from flying everywhere. With a little bit of brown wire. Okay. Don't worry too much because we're going to hide it in just a second. We got a little magical hiding technique here. And that's just keeping these from flying everywhere. So they're still going to jingle. They're still going to move. But when somebody's opening their front door, they're not going to be banging them while they got their groceries in their hands and they're trying to get in, right? They're going to just be tucked away here. All right, this one we can let go, but we got these two tied in. Now, what I want you to do is there's some little fake pine cones on here, and just steal a couple that aren't going to be really shown. And I'm going to glue those on, just right on top of my little wires, so we don't see a thing. I just glued it on right there. And you can do that as much as necessary. Over here, I've got a piece of pine covering, so I don't have to do anything. And that's fine there. Okay, I said it's bow time, so let's get that bow in. Here comes the bow. And I'm going to put this right in here. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty already. I love it. We're not even done. I'm going to let, it's going to tie kind of in at an angle because I want this part of the bow with more loops up at the top, okay? So I'm going to go right through where my cable tie is here. Let's get it tight. Perfect. And I'm going to cut that cable tie off. Now, before you get too far, we got to organize the tails with the bells. That green is perfect in there. And I love this stitch ribbon. That is cute. So these are going to go over here. Just kind of cascade down. And there's our bells kind of popping in and out of everybody. Doesn't that look great? Isn't it great? I love it. Now, let's take a minute and go ahead and get our rest of our pine in. And I like to use that in around the bow, okay? And check for any holes you might have. But this one is that natural vibe. And I think these look beautiful. I'm just coming in between each one of these with a little bit more of this. So the bow is more integrated all together. Let me bring this. You know, it's mixed in there. I'm going to bring this from below. So if it's from the bottom of the bow, you're going down. If it's from the top of the bow, you're going up. Okay. Let's go over here. This looks fantastic. Okay, now I'm going to just go in and check my lines and see where else I need to add any to fill in. But this wreath is going to last you so many years. And the only thing it doesn't have is that fresh pine smell. But you know, you could get that. You can get the scent sickles and add them in there. Oh my gosh, that looks good. Let me go a little bit lower here. Wow. Wow. And you're going to get full rolls of ribbon in the kit. So you could even make a couple smaller of these if you wanted to get a smaller base. But isn't this gorgeous? Listen to the jingle. I think it turned out beautiful. Hey there, Bloomerinos. Are you ready to make our newest kit? You guys, this is vintage Christmas and I love to play with these types of looks. Let me show you what comes in the kit. The first part is you're going to get this swag base. And this is a nice size medium swag base, but look at the jingle jangle. I'm telling you, it's all about the jingle. And it's got the most fantastic cedar in here. The cedar that is in here is iced and a little bit glittered. And then we have iced twigs plus the bells and a little bit of pine cone. When you get this, you're going to want to shape it out like I've done here and kind of spread the stems out left and right so you get a nice kind of like an upside down Christmas tree. See, that's the look we're going when we're going to do this type of swag. So it's ready to go. And the cool thing is it comes with a hook already built in, so it makes it so easy to build. In the kit, you're also going to get a full roll of ribbon like this. And y'all, if you haven't followed us, liked and subscribed and followed, make sure you do that now so you don't miss another video. Grab a spot on our text list for sure if you haven't done that yet. 832-734-5201. Grab a spot and text us the word VIP so you get a spot on the list. So we've got the ribbon, the swag base, and then we have the little topper pick, which I love these because they're going to bring that look from the bottom back to the top. These go together quickly and they make the cutest pieces for your home. So what we're going to need to do is build the base first. So we've got the bottom part of the swag ready. I'm going to layer this right on top. It's so easy. And I want that to kind of cover the hanger but leave enough room for the bow. Now, the link for the bow to make this is on the supply list for the project in the kit. So you can find this link for this video and the link for the bow. So if you haven't made your bow yet, you're going to want to go there and make that once you grab the kit. This is our gorgeous bow. It's a 2-1 recipe with this beautiful crinkle ziggly wiggly line. It's a zigzag line on here, which is so cute. I love that. And it gives us that vintage vibe. So when we put this bow that we made in the middle, we want to make sure that area in between is just the perfect size. So I'm going to back this down just a little bit, but we want to kind of hide the stem along the base here. All right, so we leave a little bit of room for what we would call the bow zone in design school. That's the area where we're going to put the bow. So we leave a little section for that. Now I've got some brown cable ties that are going to camouflage really nicely. Those aren't going to come in the kit, so you're going to need to grab some from your electrical department of your local store, or you could use any color, but you just kind of have to camouflage them. So I'm going to take this one and I'm going to put it in the background here, and then we'll move some of these other stems on top of it to hide them, okay? So I'm going to put my first piece in right here, and just a couple of these should hold it in place nicely. So here goes number 1 down kind of at the bottom. Pull it nice and tight, and then let's put number 2 at the top. And this one's going to be behind the bow, so no one's going to see this at all. Once you do that, you're going to take and trim both these pokies up. We don't need them. And then I'm going to manipulate the greenery so you don't even see it. It'll be camoed, and I'm going to show you how to do that right now. In design school, we just did a really fun corner swag that we made, and we use some of these same techniques you're seeing here. We just build upon the fundamentals, and fundamentals of construction are really important when you're designing, and I'm big about doing them. And then once you learn those fundamentals, you learn lines, you learn shape, you learn depth and dimension, and principles of design that help build up your design technique and your quality of your work, and before you know it, you're putting out stunning pieces that sell, and I am so proud of you. Okay, now let's get the bow in. That's coming in next. So I'm just going to lay it right in that bow zone. We're going to go right over the same area we just were in, so that's going to hide all our mechanics. Y'all, this is so gorgeous, so quick, so easy. These kind of swags work great in your home, on either side of the fireplace, if you have sconces. On both, you can make a couple for the sides of a mirror. They are just so fun to add in. If you have a mailbox at the front door, it looks super cute hanging off your mailbox. All kind of stuff. With a little bit of bending, I can also turn this into a lantern swag just by putting a wire right on the back. That's how fun these are to work with. Now, the next trick we want to do is we want to use these gorgeous ribbons in the foreground and in the background. So what you're going to do is take the front ribbons, and I'm just going to move those up out of my way. And now we're going to take the back ribbons and we're going to pull those to the back. That's always part of my styling. See what depth we just created? And that wasn't very difficult, but we brought that ribbon to the back, and it creates depth because now the greenery is on top of it. So we roll these 2 pieces to the back, and they're gorgeous, and they let the greenery be on top. Now the foreground pieces, I'm going to curl those. I like to get these fairly tight and curl them up with my fingers, just kind of like you're doing your hair. Oh my gosh, let that kind of cascade down. Do that on both sides, and then we'll fluff that bow, and we've really done this. This is so super fast, super cute. But never underestimate pieces like this in your craft booth, in your home, and when you're decorating, because they are simple but beautiful. And look how pretty. And this is sitting next to just two classic Christmas ornaments, and you can see this look never goes out of style. So try this simple vintage Christmas swag. I can't wait to see you try a few of these and implement these into your home and into your repertoire. And this kit is great for beginners or more advanced students who just want to make something super quick. Y'all, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. I'm Keleas, and if you haven't been here before, absolutely welcome. Come and join us anytime we're live. What we're going to do today is I want to show you, we're going to work with this adorable bow that we made on Wednesday. And we're going to make a wreath out of it. And of course, we're going to add lots of fun kind of peppermint candy supplies. I want to show you what we're going to be using. And I've been dying to play with this ribbon candy, so we're definitely putting this in here. There is some spiral lollipops in this bow, and I know that will pick that up so nicely. So that's what we're going to be doing in this video. And welcome, of course. Say hello if you're watching, whether it's the first time or the 100th or 1000th time. We're so glad you're here. I love to teach floral design, and when we get around the holidays, we are teaching using like fun candies and peppermints, whatever those themes are, and that's what we're going to be doing today, okay? Now, the other neat thing is design school is open for new students, and that's our private class where I teach you the principles behind floral design and how to work with all these great silk flowers and all these different elements. This is my 25th year in business, and I've learned all of these different, tricks along the way, and I love to be able to share them with you. So we'll be putting the link here, or there's a link in the description of this video, no matter where you're watching, where you can come join us in our weekly class. We get to do this with us weekly, and we have this amazing portal where you have all this content at your fingertips. We worked really hard on it to get it to where it is over the last several years, so I'm really happy with it. So I'm going to pull up your comments so I can say hi to you all. See who's here. Let's find you guys. I see you. Fantastic. Well, welcome. This is the new bloom room we're in. So I know it's a little echoey. We're still working on that. There's lots of things going on, so it's not going to be perfect. Hey, Pat. Hi, Elaine. Hi, Trisha and Debbie. Hey, Rhonda and Shelly. Hi, Lou. You love the wreaths hanging behind me. Thank you so much. These are 2 new tutorials in design school. Glad you asked about them. These are the same recipe, and I made a couple of tweaks on them. So when I teach them, you guys on TikTok, I got to turn the camera a little bit. There's the other one. So when I teach them, we work on, what changes, how can you take a recipe and change it from season to season? So that is one of the things we did. But we'll put a link in here too for you guys to join us in our class. It only opens up a couple of times a year. So now's the time to get in for, of course, all the holiday fun. Okay, so I'm going to be putting white berries to really pick up the white ribbon in this bow. Now, we made this on Bow Wednesday, so if you didn't catch Bow Wednesday, you want to see it, all you need to do is just shoot us a, well, just let us know in the comments. You need the link for Bow Wednesday. We'll get you. You don't have to send us anything. Just put it here in the comments. Okay, so let's get going. Now, never played. Hi, Gwen. Hey, Brenda. Thank you. Hi, Karen. Brenda's asking about Kaya. Y'all, Kaya got a small concussion at school on Friday. Just going hard. Like, where did she learn how to go hard? Lord, she learned it from us. She was just playing, and she hit heads with another kid while diving at playing a game. They were playing a game, and they were having so much fun. Remember, I'm a PE teacher. I was a PE teacher before I did all this and played sports in college and all that, so I'm all for Kaya to be having a great time in PE, and she crashed into another kid, and what we thought was a really simple thing, it turned into a not simple thing, but she is fine, and she's recovering well, so thanks for asking about her. Y'all, I'm gonna look a little lost in the studio because everything is not where I want it to be. I'm trying to find it all. Hi, Cass. Hey, Lynn. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for thinking about her. Thank you guys for the love. You'd love the link? Yes, we'll get you the link here. If you want the link for design school on TikTok, you guys are going to have to go up into I can't put it in the comments, okay? Go to my YouTube page for the last bow video. That will be there. Or you can come watch us on Facebook also. The bow video will be up there. And the design school link is also in, you know, I'm not supposed to say it when I'm live. You know, the bio there, up there. Of course, there's no proof of it. It's in the bio. All right, so these are so funny. These have a poinsettia, and I love that they're snowy, and they have some eucalyptus, which eucalyptus is still a very popular trending greenery, so it's fun to put that in there. Hi, Tammy. Thank you, Stacy. Hey, Christy. Thanks for the love. Hi, Chris. Yeah, she plays hard, you know, just like Mama. So, doesn't surprise me that we had a catastrophe. You know, we're just hanging in there. How's the fur babies? They're good. They're good. They're little stinkers, so, you know, they're spoiled rotten. I'm going to try to get a place out here where I can, what do you call it, bring them along. But there's so many other things when you're at a warehouse that has, you know, other cars on the property. It terrifies me. So they're safer at home right now until I get this all locked down for them. Okay, y'all, we're going to put the hanger on. I'm going to get the hanger going. We got lots of videos on how to put a hanger on, but we're going to put that on first. To get a good, nice hanger on here. I love to do that at the beginning. You got your snowman kit? You're gonna make him? Nice, nice, Marina, good. Yeah, he's super cute, isn't he? Yeah, we need to come up with some more fun Christmas kits. We are just getting everything put away and getting into the new studio here. It's really been nice to get it all out of the house, but it is crazy. Wanda, or Miss Anderson, hopefully you're getting the help you need over there. Nicole's helping you out, okay? Y'all, I am reading comments from 15 directions. Don't gotta be smooth at it, just give me time, just give me time. We got some new brackets coming for these lights, so I'm excited to get the lights a little bit out of my face and out to the sides. Yes, very exciting. Okay, let's get these in first. These are going to be my prominent pick. Now, pick like this, the nice thing is it's got greenery and it's got the main flower. So that's nice because it even has a twig. So that's 3 elements we generally would add separately, but when they're all in one pick, that's great. Hi, Lisa. I was just telling everybody she's doing good. She's recovering just fine. Thank you so much for asking about her. She's doing fine. I mainly just wanted to let everybody know that I didn't know anything about concussions and how serious they could be, and a lot of my friends have let me know that it's no joke. So when I did take it seriously, I was going to make her blow it off, but then when the doctor's coming in there telling you this stuff, you're like, oh, no. Okay, let's get these guys in first. And we're going to have these pretty spaced out because I've got that great big bow I want to put in between them. So we're going to put these in first. Oh my gosh, you got 2 of the snowmen? I don't blame you. I don't blame you for doing 2 snowmen wreaths. I think that'll be fun. I'm going to put a couple of these in. Yeah, lately in design school, these are the first wreaths we've done lately. We were doing some rustic lamb type stuff that we did for Christmas and for fall that turned out really pretty. You know, we're always ahead in our class, running ahead of the seasons, but I do realize when you're doing craft shows and you're in the now season, you've got to be working on what would be selling now. So let me give you some advice. Right now, most people aren't going to want to buy Christmas quite yet, unless it's a really big event or they're a repeat customer of yours. Most people are still going to be looking for Halloween and fall right now, okay? I'm going to put these opposite kind of placement. And I want some nice spacing. I've got a lot planned for this wreath. Oh, you guys on TikTok are over too far. There we go. Let me tighten it up. Hey, Nicole says there's going to be a link for the bow video on the supply list when it's done. Oh, for this one too? Oh, nice, nice. I forgot. We're so organized. I know, the poinsettia picks are great because they're loaded already. They've even got long needle pine, which is my favorite. Hey, Carol Ann. Thank you so much, Lisa. Yeah, she's doing good. Roxanne, your snowman order arrived today? Oh, good, good. Hi, Jan, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. So glad you're here. You guys, wherever you're watching, we're always thankful for you being here. And make sure you're... Uh-oh, Honey Bunny's trying to come through the door. He's being silly. Oh, Kaya, you spelled her name correctly. Don't worry about spelling it right or wrong. You know, your name's different like mine. Nobody ever gets them right. I don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Okay, I am going to put this one, I think, right here. Kind of get some good placement going on. These are like the major thing going in. Well, it helps me don't yank the leaf off. These are the major piece going in, so make sure you're leaving lots of space for them in your design so you can work around it. Okay, those are in. Hey, Honey Bunny, you need me? You just come and say hi. Honey Bunny's come to say hi. Ho. Okay, I'm going to use one of these greenery bushes. This is a really pretty greenery. So let's put this in, and we're going to space this between all the others here. I gotta find a good spot for my trash can, too. I don't even have a good spot yet. Okay, greenery-wise, we're going to go right between the spaces here. Y'all, so there's just a few more days left to get into design school. So if you're seeing this video for the first time, make sure you go check it out, see if it's something you want to join. If a class is already closed by the time you see this on a replay, make sure you just take and get on the wait list too. Jan says, in each other's wreath to show you a comment. Jan, if you need like feedback on a wreath in design school, just put that on the Ask Keleas, okay? You can ask me questions there, and I do those once a week in design school. And I give you feedback on how you can improve or that. Yeah. Do they have a lot of Christmas stuff yet? We're getting a lot of Christmas stuff in. So it's exciting. New things are coming. Okay, so I'm just getting a little bit of this greenery in around everywhere. I'm going to save just a little bit more to put in a minute. Now, my next piece I'm bringing in is going to be these berries. These white berries, I love these. These are going to work like a filler flower. So if you ever hear us use filler flower, basically that's a small pop of color that complements your design. So in design school, you're going to see me use flowers. We might use berries. There's all kind of different little things you can use to accomplish the same thing. All right. Lisa says, join please, design school is the best. Lisa's an OG. She's been there from the beginning. Thank you so much, Lisa. She's probably getting ready for her Christmas craft shows coming up. Lisa usually rocks it out at the craft shows. I'm going to use 2 of these bushes. So we'll get 2 of these broken up. Lois, I'm located in the Houston, Texas area. Welcome. We're streaming from our new Bloom Room. We don't have a physical location, so everything is online. It's Keleas.com for everything. Our floral design class is Keleas Design School. I've got the fan on because it warmed up. Can you guys hear okay with the fan on? Do I know how addictive this hobby is? Yeah, 25 years later, Jan. I do. I got like 7 warehouses. A lot of my life into it. Yes. It is a fantastic hobby. Yes, it is addictive. That's why when you're ready, we'll teach you how to sell them too. Well, when you're ready, you can come to business coaching and learn how to sell your work also. We'll help you. If it gets too addicting, we can help you move it. Let's put in some berries a little bit behind each of the poinsettias. I'm going to start off and I'm going to cluster them up. Now, you're not going to ever see me use a pick machine because I've sold thousands of wreaths on Etsy. I've done craft shows. I did craft shows for 17 years before I went just online. I did that full time. And so I don't use a pick machine because it's just more time. So I eliminate that. You can, if you want to pick them all, you can, but you're never going to see me do that. Okay? And then when you get these, we've got to shape them. We've got to bring them up. You like the new bloom room? Thank you. Is that the fan? You guys, if it's too annoying, I can turn it off. Let me turn it off. It just got hot. Yeah, we're gonna get some air in here, but I was trying to wait until it got like to the spring because it's gonna be winter. You're right, winter's coming. And I know it's echoey, but y'all are gonna have to just live with it for a little bit. I'm sorry. We'll get it better and better. We'll keep improving. But hey, when I first started, the picture was all blurry. We were across the way in the shipping studio. It was crazy. So we're doing better. Okay, now this is a really fun pick, and it's got more of the candy involved. So I want to take and pop this in. I'm going to alternate this with the ribbon candy. So we've kind of got our basic structure of the design going, and I want to use this in conjunction with that ribbon candy. So let's put that in next. Right, we are certainly ready for some cooler weather, aren't we? We've had a little taste of it now in Houston, and now we're like, oh yeah, bring it on. Patricia Crockett says, if you haven't joined yet, don't miss out. You won't regret. She's the best. You're so sweet, Patricia. Another OG, class of 2018. Thanks for being here, Patricia. Guys, the original followers are the ones who got me into teaching this. I mean, I was a school teacher before I went full-time into craft shows, and figured out, wait a minute, I love doing this. I mean, I love teaching too, and I love sports, and I loved coaching. I loved all of that. But this was really my passion, and I loved being able to create things with my own hands and then sell them. And that's how it all started. And people like Patricia and Lisa and all the others, you guys know who you are. They were the ones who asked Diane, trying to think both Dianes, Diane number 1, Diane number 10. They are the ones who asked, Clea, can you please teach us? And so I was like, what? And so it began. So this whole monstrosity began. And I'm so thankful that they encouraged me to do it, because I didn't think people wanted to learn or even, were interested. And sure enough, they were. And what a blessing this has been for us to be able to do what I love and teach you guys how. That's epic. Okay, I need a little bit of piece of pine here. I'm going to use this to cover up my glue right there, okay? Because generally I'd use Spanish moss, and I could use it on here too, but I'm just going to use a little bit of piece of pine because it's got that little bit of glitter on it, and snow. It's got both. Okay, now look how fun those candies are. Now we use those kind of like a twig in here. They're flying out, and so they're going to really make a statement. Sure, yeah, Carol, I mean, just keep working on your Etsy. That's something I teach over at CoachKelea.com. If you ever want to join us, I'm part of the Deco Exchange team teaching Etsy. Stacy, use the ribbon candies in the grapevine. Girl, come on now. We can put it all in the grapevine. Stacy, you could do it. Stacy's one of our students, and we're so proud of her. She's starting to put her tutorials out there and working hard. She's also in the business coaching, and she's really done a great job on her Pinterest. So I just get excited for everybody when they start winning and they get to do what they love. And, we try to be a family and very supportive of everyone and help each other out as much as possible. So I'm going to come down a little bit here, and we're going to have this big candy cluster right here. Kind of shoot that to the center. I love this one candy right here. I'm going to tilt her forward just a little bit. And then I think that's pretty good. I like that so far. A pop of that now, candy. Now, I didn't show you. Look at this one. Haha. We're going to put this big one in here. So I've got to get this one picked. I'll say picked and sticked, and that means we're going to pick it and stick it and put it right in here. I think I want it to kind of fly out of the middle. It doesn't have to be exactly perfect, but just kind of shoot out to the side. So let me get a dowel. Do we cut off any good ones? Let's see, sometimes we can use our pieces that are left over to push in there. We can do that. Let me take the hanger off. Right? And Stacy's got getting a bonus on her, what do you call them, the Pinterest thing, Stacy, that you're doing? Pinterest. I get them all confused. Stories, reels. She's getting some money from Pinterest, so we're real excited for her. Yeah, getting paid to pin. That's some of the stuff that you learn in business coaching that you may not even been aware of. We've got such great coaches. I mean, I work on Etsy, but we've got all these other wonderful coaches who teach all the different social medias, and they're on top of it. Okay, I'm just cutting it down a little bit shorter. Okay, let's put it in. I think I want it to come out that way, a little bit from the top. Now, if you don't need this to, like if you just, it doesn't have to bend, but it's nice if it bends for this situation. Now, in every design, there is a transition point. That's something I teach in design school. So this one, you can identify it pretty easy because everybody from here is kind of coming up, and everybody from below my hand is going down. Okay. I kind of like that shooting up a little bit. Now, we need to cover a little bit more of this. Stacy did a lot of Pinterest on her own, but she's also a student over at CoachKeleas.com. But she gets the credit for all the work she did. She does. She put in the work. All right, I am just covering that right there. Okay, so we got this great pop going so far, guys. Look at it. All right, it looks a little weird because it's all there. We aren't done yet. We got more party coming. Let's get our next candy in. Marina says, Keleas, your wreath burned on Keleas for purchase. I don't remember seeing it and just purchased a few things. Yeah. Nicole, can you put the wreath board? We have some wreath stands in stock. Coach Chris in business coaching. So Coach Christine is who teaches Pinterest, and she's brilliant. And Coach Christine is also, her team does my blog on Keleas.com. Are you okay, honey? Richard? Wait a second. Okay. I heard a big boom. I can't have any more catastrophes this week, honey. So I really want this candy to kind of shoot out opposite of that candy, but let's put the bow in first. Yeah, we have the main door open. Richard's working right next to me. You might see the wind blowing a little bit. Yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry if it's moving a little bit. You got 3 orders for your arrangement? Oh, nice. I know. I'm sorry. Oh, you know what? The cord is hitting the camera. Let me move that. Why is there so much wind here today? Okay, hold on. I'm moving you guys. Okay. Hopefully that's a little better. Yeah, hopefully it's not moving. The cord was hitting it. He's okay. It's just moving the camera. Okay, hopefully that helps some. I do have the main door open because it felt cooler to me. We're going to have to get, it's the breeze. Yeah, it's the breeze, but I don't want y'all to feel nauseated. Oh, y'all, we try so hard. I try to be professional and do our very best, but, sometimes the camera might be flying. Okay, look how quickly this came together. When you use high-quality materials, like we started off with those poinsettia picks, and those aren't crazy expensive. They're either $7.99 or $9.99, but the neat thing about them is look at all the space they filled and how quick they worked in my design. So if you do get to where you're into selling, or you just want to make things a little faster or save a couple of steps, that kind of stuff is what you want to keep in mind when you're seeing different supplies, okay? We will have the whole supply list for this project I'm gonna get this kind of coming out between the bow. I'm separating the center of the bow, and I really want that ribbon candy to shoot out. So that's so fun. Okay, let's get the tails going. That looks pretty good. Now, remember I wanted to use the other candy down here at the bottom. Let me see if I can get that in there. Okay. Isn't the bow working perfect with it? Ooh, I just can't wait to stage it all together. It's gonna be fun. We still have a lot of white berries I want to put in, but I want to get this other piece of candy in. Let's go down here. Let's go up in here. Y'all, if you're just getting here or you're watching the replay, let us know you're enjoying it. We always would love your feedback, what you'd like to see more of, for sure. If you're a new design school student, please don't hesitate to ask any questions. We're here to help. Okay, you see kind of we have this explosion coming out of the bottom of the bow. I think that's so fun. Absolutely fun. And I'm going to work this tail right behind that greenery and this tail right behind this greenery. So that way these can kind of lay out really pretty. And then we can structure these or we can curl these back in. Sometimes I like them curled, sometimes we leave them long. You could dovetail those tails if you want and make that little chevron shape at the bottom. This little one curls up really pretty. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look to see, I've got that one piece of greenery and I see a great spot for it right here where I'm going to fill in. And then we're going to use some more of the white berries. We got some even spacing, but now I want to just fill in more. You're loving the candy? Awesome. You're loving it? Great, guys. Great. I'm glad you are. I apologize for missing y'all yesterday. I was taking care of my sweet baby Kaya after her little accident, but she is doing much better. Everything's fine. Grandma was taking her for her birthday. You know, her birthday was earlier this month. And Grandma was out of town with Marley in Colorado. So she's taking, Grandma's taking her tennis shoes shopping. See, tennis shoes are Kaya's love language. So, which, you know, Grandma is probably thinking cha-ching, cha-ching, but it makes Kaya so happy. Thank you, Cher. All right, let's start in adding some berries. And these are going to function for my little pop of white. This is my filler flower. And this is what's going to make my wreath stand out just a little bit. So I'm going to work these berries kind of as I'm going in with the grain of the wreath. I'm going to work them back to the front. So they're going to have motion going a little bit more forward instead of just with the transition in the flows that we created, okay? So if you want to know about flows and transitions and placement and how not to just shove things in and be like, I'm done, I'm your girl, okay? Come join us in design school. There's a link in the description on it, wherever you're watching these videos. I'll put this big cluster in here. Something else I talk about all the time is breaking the plane of one particular thing in the wreath. And here we did. We broke the plane of the bow and we broke the plane of the poinsettia pick. And the combination of both of those adds this depth and dimension that makes your work stand out from other people's. Okay? Awesome. We're going to come back here. I'm going to come back up here. I'll hold it up for you when we're all done. I give super great close-up pics in design school so you can see great finished pieces. And then I'll hold it up when we're all finished. Okay, let's pop some more white in here. I'm loving how we're using this berry more forward. And that is adding just a little bit more depth. So I'm giving everybody a bend up. Isn't that pretty? So far, so good. Let me move it up a little bit for you. Okay? And let's come in. I've got a couple more berries. I know I need a little bit coming out the bottom of that bow just for some symmetry here. We've got a little bit of the, you know, we can't have an area without a little berry. Tuck that in. This one might go a little bit behind. That's okay. You'll still see that white in there. I like that kind of bringing your eye down. And I've got one more little section. Let me see. Okay, let me bend this up just a little bit. It's a little bit of, I want to move this up just a little. Okay, let me step back. Oh my God, I love that. Let's put one more cluster of berries right in here to the center, and I'm going to glue this all into one. Ha ha! You guys love it? Yeah, you know I love twigs. Twigs for days. I love twigs. And so kind of, you know, a lot of times we put twigs in last. And in here there are some cute little twigs that came in it. But basically we're using this berry like a filler flower and a twig. We're letting it be kind of the little thing that makes it stand out and be a little bit fancier than if we didn't put it. And you can see I just kind of scooped that up to kind of tie that section in right here. And we did it. I think it looks great. What's going to go on your door after Christmas? Are you ready? Because I'm here to help you. Grab your ribbon, wrangle it up. We're getting ready to make a fun, snowy winter swag kit that's super easy, and I think you will love it. And we're going to rock out the ribbon in this one. So get ready. Come on in. Let's have some fun. Y'all, the first thing you want to do is you're going to order your kit from us here on Keleas.com. And in there, you're going to get the swag base. You're going to get this beautiful array that has the wintry pine on it. You're also going to get one of these adorable cardinal pieces that we're going to add in for that touch of red. It's all got snow and glitter. And then you are going to also get 2 full rolls of ribbon. The cool thing is you're going to get a whole nother video how to use the rest of this ribbon to make a lantern swag. So you're going to have a combo of this kit right here to make this project, but I am not going to leave you hanging on how to use the rest of this ribbon. Okay, now what we're going to do today is you're going to text us at 832-734-5201 or go to textkeleas.com. Once you do that, you're good to go, and you send us the word. For this particular one, you send us the word kit, and we'll send you the link to it, okay? Now, let's get started on this project right away. I am going to grab my bow maker. Now, you can do the bow by hand or any way you want. I use an easy bow maker, and we do have an affiliate link for that too, where you can grab your own. Just let us know here in the comments. We'll hook you up. I am going to tie my bow first. Now, you're going to notice I need to get the length of this tail right because we want to really rock out the ribbon in this design. So put your ribbon on the bow maker, okay, and just get it here sitting. And then I want you to take and just pull that ribbon out so you get the full length. I want it to be able to go down and hang a little past there. And we're going to put what we call some little bitty humps in it. And we call those roller coasters in design school. And if you've been dying to join our design school, you just got to get on the wait list. You're going to head over to textkeleas.com and you are going to send us the word link, L-I-N-K, and that'll hook you up with what you need. Now, I've measured out that link right there, the length, it's all the same. Then I'm going to put on the swag and bring it to the middle, all the words. Twist it right here, okay? Now, I want one tail. I'm going to have one tail coming down this whole swag, and then I am going to have 2 loops on either side. So we're going 6.5 on these, 6.5 right here, 6.5 on this side. So we're going to do 2 on each side, twist at the center, and I'll pull that ribbon back and twist and keep spreading this right out. 6.5 over here, and scrunch that dude down. Now this tail's going to go up. So the other part of our swag kit is got this right here, and I want this to be able to be at the top of my swag. So this tail, I need it to be able to flow through that whole piece. So I'm going to cut it a little bit longer, and we're going to dovetail that. And I'm just going to take and fold that in half and get a nice sharp dovetail right there. Boom! And that one can go in. All right, first step done. Now grab your other ribbon, okay? We've already got our links decided with our first ribbon, and we're just going to go right on top of this other one. So I'm going to start off by matching the tail length here, and you can make it a little shorter or a little longer, whatever you prefer. I'm going to come in and twist that. So that's going to be my long tail at the bottom of the swag. And now we're going to do a simple, let's go at 5.5, so we're an inch shorter than our other loop of this pretty stripe. These always go good together. So we've got berries on the one ribbon, stripes on the other. This tail's going to go up and just match the length of this one. Okay, so you just measure it out, and pretty simple. And then what I want you to do is dovetail that. I think it's time for new scissors, or sharpening the scissors. Are your scissors getting dull too? Man, we're cutting so much. We've been getting our all of our projects done. All right, now I'm gonna grab my cable ties and we're gonna go ahead and pull this dude off. So I'm gonna run that right underneath on the right and then pull this through so that the tail will be on the left up here, and I'll have a little bit of motion. Actually, it's gotta go this way so you catch it. You can't push it over. You gotta go on the same side. We'll pull it into the swag when we bring it in. Okay, rotate that between your fingers, and now is the magical part. You gotta fluff it all up. Fluff it and make it look beautiful. Yeah. There we go. You see how loopy it is? That's how I love to make my bows. Just lots of motion and movement. I think that's so satisfying. Now come in here underneath, add your cable tie behind, and just pull that tight. We're going to take and just cut that piece off. And now what I like to put in there, I'm going to put a bit of the stripe running right down the middle, okay? So let's do that. Just cut off a small strip of your stripe. Remember, in the kit, you're going to get that whole roll. So you've got plenty to work with. And I'm going to run this right down the middle here. And you have that tail up and a tail down. Flip this around, we'll just put a little knot. Basically, we're making it look really clean. I teach in design school. We want to camouflage our mechanics, and that's exactly what we just did. No one will know that there's a cable tie in there. Okay? So, the first part of this project is rocket. Now, we're going to get that swag base and put that part together now. So, just move your ribbon off to the side and grab the large swag base, and then you're also going to need this piece here. Now I have already taken and fluffed them out, and in design school we call that shaking hands. So that's what we've done. We've shook hands with all of that. Now the swag itself has this hanger on it right here, so you might take a second and just move that to the back so the hanger can be accessed from the back. And I'm going to run that right beside here. Now let me flip it over. So you'll have 2 pine cones. You'll have like a trio of pine cones when you mix these 2 together. Now the way to get this to hold is we've got to use some cable ties and attach it nice and firmly right down the center. You can leave a little gap in between. I'll show you. Let me flip it around so you can see. A little gap in between to set the bow in. Or you can just do it flush tight and then put the bow on top of these. It's up to you. I'm going to leave a little bow zone, as we call it in Keleas. I'm going to flip this around. And now it's time to attach this together. Now, your kit doesn't come with cable ties, but you can get these in the electrical department. You can pick out. I like the clear color. It's easy to camouflage. And you're just going to put a couple of these here. Easy peasy. Now, the other thing you're going to need, here's that hanger. So I'm going to pull that out so I can access it. Put one right above it, and it's got like a little wire loop. You can always add another wire hanger if that one doesn't work for your door, no big deal. 2 of these on and keep this nice and flat. When we trim these off, we're going to just rotate those little nubs to the side. I'm using wire cutters, so it's just a little less sharp on a little less harsh on my poor little scissors. And just push this to the side. That way that doesn't scratch your door or anything like that. And you got a nice surface back here, okay? All right, we got that done. Now flip it around. Voila! Okay. Oh my gosh, it's such a beautiful, strong, beautiful base. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put my bow in, and we're going to get our tails all pretty how we want them. I'm going to show you a couple of different options. That's so fun. When you make yours, you can do yours anyway. So let's take this one in, put it right down the center. Okay, and here's our tail running down the bottom. So I'm going to give you a couple of options, but the first thing we have to do is take that cable tie and attach this right to the middle. Okay, this goes in the center of that area we left where we have our 3 pine cones. Just so pretty placed in there. And then once that's in, I'm not going to get it too tight to start with. We can always tighten it up later. Cut that piece off, and then we're going to manage that tail to look beautiful. Y'all, this is just a great transitional piece. You could even pop some gorgeous hearts in here if you wanted to make it more Valentine-y. I'm just making it pretty in winter, and you could always pop in the hearts if you wanted. Now, I love the stripe mixed on top of the berry. I think that's really pretty. And what I would do is I would just kind of tuck this under the first pine cone right here, and then let this tail come out this way. So you have this beautiful flow. Isn't that beautiful? That's one option to do the tail. And then here at the top, if I was doing that, I'm going to do this tail the opposite way. See how this curls this way? This one's going to curl the opposite because that is awesome and beautiful. And you love to see that flow. I love to see the flow of movement. And then we can curl these up. And that is beautiful ribbon placement on this one. I mean, beautiful. If you want to change and you want to be different, another fun thing to do is just to have these kind of meet in the middle. Have the berries go on one side and have the stripe go on the other, and then have their little tails just come down. And you can make them match or one be longer than the other, and that's really fun too. And you could do that same thing up here. It's your choice if you like them matching or a little bit off center like this. So depending what you want to do, you can either tie this on or you can just pop a little glue on here to hold them down. It's up to you. So I'm just going to go ahead and I think I'm just going to tie it down with a cable tie. I like to pull this up just a little bit more so there's a little bit of movement in here. So we're going to come underneath and I'm going to tie it to the base right there. And you see, we call that a roller coaster in design school. That just means it's a Humpty-Doo, right? Yeah, Humpty Dance on this one. I'm going to come in right underneath and tie that onto that base, okay? So go for the base wire, run your cable tie in and out. It's going to go under and come back up. And then I'm just going to gather the ribbon a little so I kind of control how it's going to look. And you see how that's underneath the pine here, so you'll never see it. Okay, so that one's in. So I've used about 4 cable ties so far. Isn't that cute? So pretty. Now let's do the same thing up here. We've already placed that one in. Let me grab one more. And we'll tie this one in. Right up here. And just, you can take and gather it like this to kind of control when you tie it. Otherwise it can look a little frumpy, you know? No girls want to be frumpy, and no wreaths want to be frumpy. We want to feel polished. Polished. You guys, I love this. This is just a simple kit, and kits are a great way for you to get started, where you might go to our website and feel just completely overwhelmed with thousands of products. But when you come in and you purchase a kit, you get exactly what you need to make it. And you might need to add a little hot glue or scissors or things like that. But I know you guys already have that in your craft room. All right, in order, this is beautiful. This is great and simple. We could be done here. But we're just going to add a little touch of that cardinal. So many people love cardinals for so many different reasons, so we like to add them into our pieces, especially for winter when people are thinking about their loved ones. So I'm going to take and separate this out. And when you do that, you can separate these into different sections. And I'm looking to get 3 pieces out of here if I can. Just take and pull these out. And not everybody will have a cardinal. Some will just have some greenery. And I just like to tear them if we can. Just tear this. It's super easy to do. Tear it down, and cut this one right here. Okay. Now, I'm going to take all the scraps. We don't need those, or you can save that main wire maybe for another project. And we're just going to add these in. Now, this is kind of where the cardinal and a little bit more greenery. I'm going to use that at the top, and then we'll use all these smaller pieces in at the bottom. Now, with her, I think we could thin down the top a little bit. Keep one berry, but take this little bit out. So I'm deconstructing that spray into some smaller, more delicate sprays. Okay, and I'm just going to take a little glue, and we're going to pop this one in, and this cardinal can sit right behind this pine cone and sit here at the top, and just add that little bit of touch of happiness. So I'm going to put a little glue on that. I'm using my electric glue skillet, but you can use a glue gun, whatever you prefer. It's off camera, but you see how I've got a bunch of glue on there? I'm going to tuck that in right back here. She's so happy. Just make sure you're hitting a lot of the pine with it. And in this one, I went right behind the pine cone. Okay, so she's going to tuck in there. And I'm going to kind of use what we call a zigzag technique to do the rest, y'all. So just what it means is we're going to add a little to the left and then a little to the right. It's easy way to do it and work your way down. If you're a little unsure about your placement, what you can do is just tuck them in before you glue them. Okay, so there's that one. These just have some fun little berries, a little bit of greenery. This is where we have our cable tie where we tuck that ribbon in. We trim these off. We've got one more cardinal, and I'm going to think about where I'm putting her in just a second. Let's shake hands and fluff this guy all out. All right, let's come in here. That's super cute. And I'm thinking about where I'm putting these. I'm not just shoving them in. You see how I'm zigzagging? Important, guys. If you want to be a high-level designer and make pieces that people want to pay more for, you have to do more than just push it in. You have to think about where it's going to go and how the eye picks up those things. And I think what would be really precious is if we went ahead and put both of these baby cardinals up here at the top, like they are together. So let's come back in and glue everybody in and make her look marvelous. Okay, let me put this one right up here. She's got a nice long wire. I'm going to take and trim that a little bit. Get the glue on her. And come on here. And you notice how her head is facing the other way? That's on purpose. So these have alternate heads facing. Think about that when you're putting your stuff in. Okay? Now I'm going to come in right here and we're going to go under those pine cones. And I'm going to get a good amount of glue where I can go in on top of this base right here. And that will hide all of that. And this just little bit of accent piece, because it's green and it's not brown, it's really popping out. I mean, the green and the brown are popping out against all the white of the winter snow here. And that looks adorable. And this is working like a twig, which I use twigs. I love, love, love twigs in my designs. They just give you this higher perceived value, this designer look, with just a little bit more effort. Okay, here's our last one. Oh, I love this, you guys. I know this is a kit you could really have fun with, and you can make it to go on your door the rest of the season after you're done with the holidays. And if you wanted to make it more Valentine-y, you could use this exact same piece. Just pop a little heart in here. Any kind of little heart. You could even print you out a cute little heart and laminate it. Pop it right in here and make it temporary. Pull it back out and your cardinals could be shining also if you wanted to. So there's just so many different variations. But I can't wait for you to play with this adorable zigzag ribbon, you guys. Looks amazing. Hey, Bloomerinos, are you ready to make a country Christmas tree? So let's get started. We're going to be using a 14-inch wreath base, some beautiful red peonies. We've got a nice dried look greenery bush, and we've also got some pine that we're going to mix in. So we're going to start with our dried look greenery. So a dried look greenery, it gives you the look that this is a kind of a vintage piece. So all of these will have this kind of neat dried look. They have pine cones, they have artificial berries and all these fun balls. I love that. Now what we're going to need to do is trim this bush up. We're going to use 3 of these bushes. They're not too big, so we're trimming them after we tear off each stem, and you got to get really neat edges. In design school, I'm always giving you the tips and tricks to break down pieces so you can get the most out of your bush. And we have very little waste too, which I love that. Now, if you're not in design school, we'd love to have you come and join us, especially right now at the holiday season. While we're gearing up, we're rocking and rolling out for Christmas, but we transition right into all the gorgeous spring designs. So your home will be rocking for Christmas for sure. But then we're going to pop right into the next season. So with these stems, you can see I've already kind of pre-curled the little twigs. I love that. And they're going to break into those 3 sections, and they come like little clusters like this. Now my electric glue skill is right here off camera, and I'm going to be using it to get a little glue on these. So the first thing you want to do is kind of set up your design and how you're going to want it to go around. And I'm going to put this kind of right in the middle line and start to work my way around. So I like to take, if this one has a pine cone and the next one doesn't, we're going to kind of alternate those right here in the midline. Start heading around. Now, if you can see some of the glue, use a little Spanish moss to hide it. Just because I don't like for anybody to see our mechanics or any of our, our cable ties, our glue, all that kind of stuff. These little twigs come on here. I like to curl those. I think they look really super cute curled, and move them to the front. We don't want to hide them. We want the greenery in the back, the berries and the twigs in the front. So you're always manipulating your supplies. Now, whenever you buy supplies from Keleas.com, I'm going to have stuff that I like to work with. And something like this, if it's available in a kit or a supply list, you know that Keleas likes all this stuff. It's easy to work with. So you can't go wrong. I'm not like buying stuff for you to shove in vases like the big box store. We're buying stuff that's easy to create with. Because I want it to be, stunning when you put your twist on it. Okay, keep going around. And I just like to rotate the wreath. It makes it easier just to keep rotating the wreath. So we're still going. So I do one with the pine cone, then I do one without, kind of alternating. So kind of take inventory of your pieces when you get ready to use them. There's no, you don't have to be perfect, but I like these in the middle and I like them coming up. The design school students know, oh my gosh, my Keleas Blue Merinos know depth and dimension means more money, more higher quality item. So even when we're working with pieces that don't have as much dimension, we're gonna build it in. We're gonna always build it into the design. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm giving those just a little bend, giving these all curls. These berries are on their own wire too, so I look at all this I can do within just each little stem. I love that because then they look cool. They got, well, you know, they've got that movement. All right. So look, we already have great coverage going all the way around, okay? Look at the movement. You want that. I want these balls. I want when a breeze flows by, they move like real plants. They're not just stuck there, okay? Really important. Now our next move is we're gonna break down our pine bushes, okay? We're gonna put these aside. We're gonna come back with that in a little bit. But we're gonna move on to our pine. Now our pine is what I call like a bottle brush pine. It's a little bit like, kind of like a brush you clean, you know, baby's bottles with. That's what this is, and it's just such a cool texture. It adds a neat dimension to our piece as well. So we're gonna break these into 3 pieces each. So you just take, I like to keep the stem pretty short, so cut the stem off. And I can keep the pine cone, or I can work around it and cut around it either way, or I can take it out. It just depends what you want to do. So I'm going to keep that one, and I'm going to cut this piece here to where it's got a couple of pieces of pine with it, and then this one. So I've got some that have a couple, and then some that just have one. All right. So break up all 3 stems like this, and you guys, the whole supply list to this project right here and to any video we do, we have a supply list for you, and that's available on Keleas.com. Whenever you go over to Keleas.com, the links to that video are also in there. And if you get to something on the website that it's requiring a password, that's because it's exclusive for our design school students. So if you see something that won't let you in, just know, hey, that's private for our design school students, but you can check out one of the other videos because we have stuff for everybody. And then when you're ready, come join us in design school, because we are, we are bubbling over with excitement to share with you all the fun tips, tricks, and of course, all the neat things we have going on. Our workshops, our events, our parties, our Christmas parties, always so much fun. All of that, we just try to make that community of creative people getting together and enjoying it. And design school students also get discounts on supplies and first access to anything new we have, so they totally love that. First dibs is a real thing, especially when, you know, there's limited quantity of everything nowadays. We can't have everything. We just try to get as much as we can, but when it's gone, it's gone. So you gotta pull the trigger. Now you see the pine, I'm kind of working it a little bit more towards the inside. And it's so fun to let these little twigs kind of sit out above that. I love that. So there's a lot of thought going in as we start to put the pine in the next layer. I'm saving the single pieces for when we need to fill in holes. But right now I'm going between each little section of the dried look greenery we have. So I'm going between there to create this kind of layer in. Now today we're not really leaving a bow zone at this moment because the bow is optional to this design. So if you know you want the bow, then you can do what we call leave a bow zone. And that means we leave a section that's just specifically for the bow. Or you can wait till you get it built and then decide what to do with that. Being a little bit more really precision and strategic is more important when you become a seller, because if you're selling, you've got to think about your pricing, your structure, how can you mass produce those items with the inventory you have. So there's just all kinds of things to think about. And if you want to become a seller, we're here to help you with that too. Okay, look, all in, looking good. Now I've got a little bit of a hole there, and you can just take back and look at it. I think that's our main hole, so I'm just going to fill that one right now with a couple of pieces. And then don't worry, we'll be coming back and even souping it up a little bit more on the perimeter. But right now I want to just work tight to the center because we are about to put our beautiful peonies in. Now peonies are fun. They're like a really fun tight bloom. These are like more of a closed head. and they're in a pretty Christmas red. And I like that I'm going to be able to mix those right in. I'm going to pull these twigs a little bit more here, move everybody forward, because now that pine is really popping. We can pull these out just a little bit. I love it. I love it. So these will go aside for a moment. We'll come back with those two once we're ready to work around our bow and everything like that. Okay? So taking a look at this so far, and I forgot to tell you at the beginning, once you guys pick a direction, which is clockwise, just stick with it. Just stick with it. And I really think this is going to be where we're going to be putting our bow later. So once I identify that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to back off by putting much more there. I've got the inside done. I might put a little more on the outside, but we're going to identify this is where the bow is going to go. Okay. So that's at basically 4 o'clock on the clock, hands of the clock. So we know that. Now let's grab our bush over here. Here's our peony bush. Bring them out, and then that is the next in our pot of recipes. Now this one has a nice kind of brighter greenery, which is fine with this design. It would actually kind of give it more of a country look, but it doesn't really go with our ribbon. So I'm going to eliminate those leaves and not use those, but I'm going to trim all the big heads off. And I'm going to keep the buds on there and the fillers for something else, but I want the big blooms in this part of my design, okay? So just take your bush and trim that off. And you can always take sections of a mixed bush bloomerinos and you can separate them to what you want. So this I'm going to save for another project. Just put that off to the side. And then I'm going to grab my main blooms. So we've got a lot of big blooms. I've got one bud. And they're almost all the same size. This one's just a little bit bigger. Now I'm going to try to separate these into sections of 2 blooms. So 1, 2, and we'll hold the bud off with the others, so we'll have 3 that are identical. So I have 3, oh, I dropped it. 3 blooms that are sections of 2, okay? Now what we're going to want to do is we're going to kind of make our own little cluster, and I'm going to bend those heads up. We don't need anything special. We're going to just take and trim these to the same length, okay? And once I do that, I can go ahead and put these in. I know I'm going to have a bow here. So what I want to do with these, I want to form a triangle with these so I have great spacing. One of the things you're going to find when you guys join design school is that a lot of design has to do with maths and geometry and shapes and how you can have a really pleasant design when you're able to do that. So I teach using that, and my brain thinks that way. And thank God I have that gift. So I'm able to lay these pieces out. We always want to stagger clusters if possible, like one higher, one lower. And then we trim it. And then I'm going to dip it right over here into my glue pot. I'm going to get a good amount of glue on there. Just hold it in, hold it tight. And now I've got a good amount of glue on my stem. And I generally just try to get the string off and then just come around. And if you're not sure about exactly where you're going to place it, or you're just not very comfortable yet, you can always just stick them in and come back. Okay? You don't have to glue it till you're ready, till you're like more comfortable. Okay, and by the way I say you make a triangle, we're going to come over here. Boom, and that's the end piece. You see? Don't forget, we left a little bow zone there. So this one's going to go right up here. Same way, I'm going to go one higher, one lower, and trim them off. You got it. You're ready for design school. You are. You are totally ready. You've got some basics started, and I know you want to learn more because I'm always ready to teach you more. Matter of fact, this Christmas we've come up with some new construction methods for door, just a killer over the door L swag. Oh my gosh, if you've never made one of those, you got to come join us in class. So awesome. We also used a little bit of different technique on some garlands we've made this Christmas season, and they're already in the portal waiting for you to come join. So I can't wait for you to see. Look how cute. So this is where we have the plan for the bow to go, and that's where all the florals will go. So we're doing great. Our next step, I'm going to push my glue pot out of the way, is I'd like to go ahead and get that bow in so we can kind of see how our spacing works. So I'm going to just slide this dude over, move this pine cone, free up just a little bit of room in here. And that'll be nice because there'll be a little bit behind the bow, but we don't need to waste too much in there. So I'm going to bring our bow in. Now, we did make this bow on another video, and we'll have the link for you in this supply list for this project. We'll have the link for this too. Just read the description. It's got everything you need. Or ask here in the comments if you're struggling to find it. But everything you need is on Keleas.com. You never have to hunt and peck. The links are there so you can go find whatever you need. Now I'm going to grab a couple of little pieces of the grapevine. Cut that off. This dude is in. He's looking so cute. I love this red. It's popping really pretty with our other red on here. I mean, it's gorgeous. And just as planned, the two flowers will be right at the bottom of the bow, and you just bring those tails around it. And if you didn't see the bow video yet, we plan on this one to have long tails for that very reason. Oh my gosh, so pretty. Okay, now we've got a great foundation. This wreath is looking adorable, but we are ready to add more filler as we come in and around. Okay, so what you're going to do is we're going to grab our dried look bushes, and we should have, I think, 5 left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We do have 5 left. And now we're going to use these a little bit in between the pieces we already had, just to bulk it up just a little bit more. So grab them. We're going to do the same process and just kind of go in between. And this one a little bit more to the outside, just to fill it in where we kind of stayed in the middle. Now I want you to reach to the outside. You have 5 pieces, so we can put basically 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1 above the bow, all right? Or 1 beside the bow, whatever you decide. And if you need to, just push these in and then come back to check your spacing, okay? So I'm just going in between. We're ahead and put the others, and a little bit more to the outside this time. So that's the only major change we're making. Instead of in the midline. Oh my gosh, I'm dropping those design school words on you. That means in the middle, okay? In the middle. All right, let's put 1 more up here. We should have 2 more after this. Right here. And once again, if you can see a lot of glue, and it's not hidden, your mechanics are not hidden by the other greenery, you need to pop some Spanish moss on it to hide it. That's one of my signature tricks and tips I've been doing forever. This one's a little long, guys. I'm going to trim that because we don't need it shooting out too far. Kind of want consistent spacing. I'm going to put this one right above the bow. Pop that in. And this one I think I'm going to need a little bit of Spanish moss on because up here we don't quite have as much filler. So that's okay. I've got my little Spanish moss bucket right here, and literally just make a little bitty ball. This I believe is a chartreuse color that we're using from Keleas.com. Okay, rotate it around. And I'm going to use 1 more piece kind of at the edge of the bow over here coming down. Oh my gosh, she is turning out really lush and full. So don't be afraid to come back at the end and just plump it up so you get a really full look, because that's what makes these look beautiful. Now, what I want you to do is save these 3 pieces of pine until you actually hang your wreath up and look at it. And then when you see there's a hole somewhere, like I do see a little hole right here, then you come back and you put a little glue on these and pop these in. But take a look at it hanging, especially if you're making it flat today. A lot of times in design school, I'm going to design on my wreath making stand that we sell on Keleas.com, and those are beneficial because you're building the wreath in a position that your customer or you will see it hanging in your home, or if you're giving it as a gift. So keep that all in mind, all right? But you guys can do this, Bloomerinos. I know you can. Y'all go have fun with flowers. I want you to make one just like this, and don't be worried or intimidated if you've never tried. This was just 3 materials and 2 ribbons. Hey there, Bloomerinos. It's Keleas, and I was just putting some foam in this container and a little moss and getting it ready to make the cutest Christmas cottage inspired wall pocket. If you've never made a wall pocket with us, you're gonna like this because it's so fun to do. A little bit different than a wreath because we're gonna make it inside a container, but I think you're gonna love it. So come on in and let's get started. Make sure wherever you're watching, you're liking, subscribing, following, do all the things so you never miss another video. Make sure you grab a spot on our text list. Just go to textkeleas.com and sign up there, send us VIP, and you can grab a spot and you'll never miss another video. Y'all, I'm gonna show you my theme we're gonna do for this. and I think you're gonna love it. It is snowy berries, and we're gonna use the cutest snowy star in here, some matching snowy berries. So these two are gonna be great. And if we're gonna have these covered with snow, I think we need some greenery that's snowy and killer. And that's what we're gonna put in first. So we'll have the whole supply list available for you. So just make sure you click the link here for that, or head over to Keleas.com and check out the supply list. We'll have what you need. So I'm gonna start off by breaking down one of these bushes so we are good to go by kind of creating our base with this snowy greenery. So I'm just gonna cut this all off here, hopefully. One of them is not letting go. And we're gonna start to prep out this area of the design. So I'm visualizing just beautiful snow kind of breaking the edges of the container. So let's start putting this in. Now I already put foam in, so we've got some floral foam in there to let this kind of start popping in. I'm gonna make sure that's breaking over the edge. I love when it spills out like that. It makes me so excited to have it spilling out and creeping over the edge. So I'm gonna come over here on the other side and just give it a little bend. When you get your supplies from Keleas.com, I'm always going to encourage you to use these beautiful wired pieces to kind of shape out your design, because that way you have all this flexibility within the design itself, and it just makes a beautiful piece. So I'm going to keep bringing these in. I want it to be really snowy all around the edge because that's so fun. So I'm just giving these a bit of a bend and we're putting them in. In design school, we have been having so much fun working on Christmas projects and just getting all of the inspiration to decorate our homes. We have students in design school who also sell. So we have sellers who are, of course, vamping up their whole repertoire for Christmas, getting their Etsy shops stocked. And that makes it exciting to have something different here too, besides just a regular container. We're going to use something with a little bit more pizzazz. So I'm just going in here into the foam. I want to make sure I get some height in the back too. I'm going to put a couple of these pieces in first, and we're looking good. Looking good. So I'm going to grab my other snowy bush, and this time I'm going to take and make sure I cut it as long as I can. So these will be just a little bit taller. All right, so I'm going to take them and trim them really long. And when you get things on a bush from Keleas.com, you can just come in here and trim them whatever length is necessary for you to have the best success with your design. And I'm always going to be teaching you what is the best. And sometimes we're throwing things at each other. So I want to get at least one piece right in the middle. I'm going to pick the tallest one I've got. I'm going to put it right in the middle. All right, we've got a great shape started out here. Okay, and I want that heavy snow flocked in there. Isn't that pretty? Might be hard to see, but can you see it? Oh my gosh, look how pretty. Oh yeah. All right, this container is starting off great. Now, I want to get some longer greenery in the back. So I love this too. This is a snowy flock stem that's got some length and little poofs of pine on it, and that is just too fun. So take this and break it down, and we're going to put some of it in the back too. And I'm going to take the longest two sections off, and then we will come in with this shorter one. So I'll have a shorty and two longs, okay? Now let's put those longs right in the back. That's where I need the height in this container, but I want some movement. So once again, utilize the wires. Just have them kind of coming out and moving around. I love that. And I'm gonna put this one in here on the right side, just popping it in. Yeah, that's exactly what we needed. See, we needed some contrast with the green, and we needed a little depth. And that's what this allowed us to have. Ooh, yeah. So just bend those, and I'm gonna put this one on the left side. And you just wanna hear that crunch into the foam. Make sure you're using glue so you can make sure it's going in nice and strong. Perfect. So we got a couple of pieces in on either side. We got a great start here. Now, what I'm gonna do is I wanna put my major elements in. We are going to be using a bow, and we tied the bow on another video. So we will put the link here. The link's always also in our supply list to our videos. Anytime you go into a supply list, you'll see the video for the bow, the video for the kit, the video for the actual project, whatever it is, it's there. And if you see a supply list that's password protected, when it's password protected, you know that it's just for our design school students, so you may not have access to it. But anytime you want to come join design school, you'll get instant access to all of those projects
and you always get a discount on supplies when you're purchasing them from us at Keleas.com. So it is an advantage for being in class because you get first dibs on a lot of things and you get discounts. Plus, I teach you how to make beautiful projects that are just a little bit higher level so you can command even a higher price for your pieces. Now, one of our main elements we're putting in this design besides the bow is this star. So I am thinking I would love to have this star kind of breaking the plane of the container and coming over here to the right. I like that idea, and the bow would go over to the left, okay? So keeping that in mind, I'm gonna go ahead and get a, this is a piece of wire from one of the stems we're using, or you could use a dowel rod. We're gonna have to add a way to mount this. So I'm gonna put this in to the berries here, and it's got like a foam base. We're gonna glue it into there, and I'm gonna let that kind of set up for a little bit and just let this sit off to the side. I'm gonna put a little bit of, I need a little bit of pine or something to hide that. So I'm just gonna use some Spanish moss to hide that glue. I'm gonna make a little ball and we're gonna put it on there, and we're gonna just let this set up, okay? So it can be nice and strong before I put it in the arrangement. So we're putting that off to the side, and now we're coming back in, and I'm gonna add the, a little bit more of this pine. I want another long piece going right up the back in the middle. So we know that star is gonna go over to the right. So I'm gonna use this one. It's gonna be a little bit taller than everybody else, but we're gonna make sure it just gets to pop out the front and be right in the middle. So give everybody some movement. Oh, I got a little right, a little left, because it's going in the middle. So that'll work great, kind of right at our transition point. And we're gonna put that into the foam down here. I'm getting snow on me. Push it in. Oh yes, and now I've got that nice wispiness. It's snowing. It's snow season. All right, let's see if our star is ready. I think our star is good. So I'm gonna go ahead and dip it in the glue pot. We'll get a little bit of glue right here on the stem, and then we'll put this in. I just want it kind of off to the right, just a little bit here. You want to hear that crunch into the stem nicely. Beautiful. Oh, how cute. I love it. Can you see it? Oh my gosh, look how cute this is. The star is in. The pine is looking good. Now, I need a little bit more of this bright red berry that's on the right. We need a little on the left. The way we're going to accomplish that is we're going to come in with one of these beautiful berry stems, and I'm just going to trim it where it's long enough to shoot into this gap in the design, but short enough that it doesn't shoot up too high. It's got to balance out with the star. I do want it taller, but not super tall. So I'm going to I'm going to cut it right here where I leave all the berries but two. And guess what? We will save these for to add in as an accent when we put that bow in a minute. Now on this, I want you to take, and this is where the bottom part of the stem came to make that little support. So do that too, so you get a nice support for your star. Give that a twirl in the glue, and then I'm gonna just put it in right here. Okay. Oh my gosh, see how that balances it out so nice? Look how pretty. Oh yeah. Red berries over here, my red star over there. Hey, and we're not done. We're not putting in the bow yet. We need to fill this in with more greenery in that mid-ground. And what better than to use a gorgeous silver dollar eucalyptus that is, it's got a light frosting and a little touch of glitter. It looks beautiful in anything you use it in. So we're gonna use that in here. I'm gonna cut these as long as they go because I need some long pieces, and we can always make them shorter. Oh my gosh, I just threw that one on the ground. Okay, now let me pick this one up and we will start putting these in. So take that bush you just cut down. I want you to find whatever's your tallest piece and use that in the center. So let me lay them here. And the tallest piece is going to be this one. Okay? I'm going to run that one right up the middle. Okay? Because we want that to kind of bridge the gap between this beautiful pine and then the gorgeous berries. And in design school, I'm always going to be teaching. We're going to use several different greeneries to have this great contrast with texture. So you're going to see us do that anytime we're creating. I'm going to try to use, and sometimes I'm using multiple greeneries, but they may be just coming on one stem. In this case, they're not. We're using different bushes because they're coming from a couple of different stems. So that situation will change depending on whatever project you're making. But man,
it's exciting to have all these great options for Christmas. I'm gonna give that a little bend because I definitely want a nice shape going on. Now I need a little shorter piece to kind of bridge the gap between that one and the center. So we're gonna do that right now. Oh my gosh, how pretty. Tuck this one in. This one can kind of come forward. Oh yeah. Yeah, you are. You're kind of come down here. I want you to kind of come out. I love when things come out. Break the plane of the container and all that. I get too excited. All right. Before we get much further, let's go ahead and get our bow in. So with our bow, she's going to go right about here. And I kind of want her just kind of off to the side. So this piece of flocked eucalyptus will work great to attach her to. Okay. If you don't have this, you can always put her own wire on and attach her wherever you want. Now I'm doing this so she's not so high in the arrangement. I like for her to come down here and hang out down lower. Yes. Perfect. And you see she's not centered. She's off to the side. Strictly because this is a design that already has a main element off to that side. So you can see how pretty. Now make sure you look at those finished pictures, but you see how pretty it is already. Oh, thank you, Keleas. You are welcome. You are welcome because this is just gorgeous already. And we're not even done. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of these red berries and we're going to have this second red berry stem kind of work over here to the left. And I'm going to cut it just a little bit longer to kind of give us a little bit more red berry. Since we have the big star over there, let's tuck this in over to the side. And I want to hear that crunch in that foam anytime I'm putting them in. Oh, perfect. Now it's time to add a little bit more of our snowy greenery to fill in between the eucalyptus. So anywhere there was a eucalyptus, I'm going to put a little snowy now, and that's going to go just between them. So there was for those two, and I'll put it between. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. And just pick one of these nice, chunky, fat pieces like this. Look at this, so chunky. I love that. I'm going to put this one in over here. Now this one's going behind the star. But there's still a party going behind the star between those two eucalyptus. Yeah? Party! There's always a flower party going on. I love that. That is looking awesome. Now, I want to come out with a little bit of snowy in here towards the center. So I'm going to take my longest piece I have and we're going to give it the biggest bend I can. And then I'm going to have that come right below this eucalyptus spray right here. Next to where we put the red berry star. Just push that in. Oh, perfect. Looks great. All the exciting action going on and beautiful. Let's take a longer piece. I'm going to put it right back here. Just going to keep tucking these in. I want it to be like a Snowapalooza happen. And there, I'm just pushing that into the foam. And then one more on this side. Now this side is kind of where the red berries are, and I don't want to cover them up too much, so I'm going to go right beside it. Yeah. Oh, it's loaded. It's gorgeous. Nice and full. Really, really nice and full. Isn't it looking good? All right. Now, we are almost done, but we're not quite finished yet. We need to add that detail part, and that is for us going to be these pine pieces here. We need them to work from the foreground. We have them in the background, and they are looking amazing. But to tie this piece together, we got to bring them back to the front. So what you want to do is just take and get some really strong motion, a little bit more than we did in the back, because we want these to kind of reach out, and I want them to be able to kind of come towards us in the design. So that depth and dimension always means more money when you're selling your work. And of course, it means a beautiful home when you're just creating it for yourself where it's next level. And your friends are going to ask, hey, what store did you get this at? And you're like, no, girl, I made that. I made that. They're going to be like, whoa. You can tell them Keleas taught me. And send them over. Send them over so that way we can all share how much fun it is to create beautiful pieces like this for your home for every season. You deserve it. Okay, I'm pushing this one in and I want that one to come forward. So you see we need those bits of motion and movement. I love it. So pretty. All right, we have just a little bit more of this shiny, sparkly silver dollar eucalyptus. We're gonna put that right in the middle. And I'm gonna let that, because we kind of created this line going here to the front, to the back, and we're gonna push that right in there. Perfecto. And now my last step is I'm going to step back and I'm going to look at my piece, get her standing straight and make sure, is she pretty? Yes, she's pretty. She's been pretty for 5 minutes already, maybe 10. She is so pretty. And I'm going to take my last piece of eucalyptus and you look at your piece and see where you've got a little hole. And wherever that is, that's where you're going to put this. Okay, and just make sure you hear it crunch into the foam and bend it. Hello there, Bloomerinos. We're going to be working in a red, green, and white color palette, and you can see the natural influences are just a perfect mix to go with our grapevine base. We've got our bow that we're going to be using on this design. So if you haven't seen our bow video and would like that, it'll be in the supply list. You can also ask for it here. We'll happy provide you with a video of how to make the bow as well. Let's talk about the supplies for this. There's a supply list attached. We're going to be using a little bit of the pine, some of these adorable wood bead picks that are just so festive for the season. And then one of my favorite bushes we have, which has got these killer textures. So one of the advantages of getting supplies from Keleas.com is that we've got pieces that are just kind of one and done. They make floral designing so much easier for you. And that's our motto. We want to keep it really easy so you can accomplish, you can get some wins. If you want to learn how to sell your stuff, you know we're here to support you in that journey as well. We want you to make it, ship it, sell it, do all those things. We want you to be able to do everything we're doing that you see us doing and help you to accomplish designs that really exceed your expectations. Not only if you want them for yourself, but if you intend to sell them later. So this bush fits the bill. So it's a nice, kind of like a 3-in-1 combo. That's the supplies we're going to use. So let's get started. You know, a lot of times I will shoot way off this. And if you're a design school member and you're in there, let everybody know how much you enjoy design school. Please pop that in the comments. In design school, I am really focused on coming off the base a lot because we really hype up dimension. And on this design, we're going to stay a little bit tighter to the base to keep, you know, it a little bit smaller. So we're going to start with one of these bushes and preparing it. And the way I want to do that is we just take bush itself and we're going to tear the pieces off if we can, or we'll cut them if they won't tear. But if they'll come off in little sections, it really saves us a lot of time in designing. So that's another thing. That's why we want to have those kind of products available on our website. And our design school students do get discounts to everything that we have on the site. And they get even bigger discounts when they spend more money. So it's really a big advantage to being in design school. So let me cut these down. We just tore those off, and then what you want to do is cut them to where they have really neat stems here and clean them up. I'm going to do that really quickly. And we're going to start with one bush to get it prepared. Now, when I'm teaching in class, I'm always going to be talking about depth and dimension, like that's very important, but also transitions on the design. So today when we're making this one, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that too, so you can get familiar with what's going on. Okay, oh my gosh, these pine cones are so cute. I love the little pine cones. Once we've identified where we want our design to go, and on this one I'm going to stay on the left side. We're going to start to put a little glue on these and start to get our base prepped. And we're going to call that, basically in class, I'm going to talk about positioning and the principles behind it. So today we're going to be putting these in a similar manner, where we start to have really good placement and we separate them and start to get some good coverage. And these have all this fun texture going on, these twigs, so oh my gosh, we want to play with that. So I'm going to go up here, and this is what we call working above the transition, and that's what I'm doing right now. I'm working above the transition. And this will be a C-shaped design, one of my favorites, one of my best sellers. So the top part's in, let's work on the bottom part. These twigs are killer because we can come in and just do whatever we want with those. So I'm going to come now below the transition and start to work on the bottom, popping these in right here and just pressing those right in where I want them to go. Oh my gosh, look at the pine cones there. Super cute. I've got some pine cones still over here from our other supplies, but we'll use those in a minute. Let me tear off a few more pieces of our second bush. We may not need all of this, but I still think you're going to need 2 bushes. But it's kind of crazy when you work with supplies that are this level of quality. You don't have to sit there and cut and layer and pick and do all those things because it's already done for you. The picks are made, they're prepared on the bush, and all you gotta do is break that bush apart, which makes it nice. So up here I've got that long one. I'm gonna put that same long piece that was at the top here at the bottom. So right here coming at the bottom is this one. I'm gonna bring it in. And I am kind of coming off the base a little. Not quite as far as we do with our really dramatic pieces that I teach in class, but a little bit, okay? And let's come off with one shorter one right here. So once we have our section done above where the bow is going to go and then below, then we know we're ready to rock and roll with our next section, okay? Looking good. Our focal point are these adorable wood bead picks. They are really where we're getting the pizzazz from. And I would like to just use these full so we don't have to cut them. Y'all, this wreath we're making now would be just a perfect Etsy shop filler. You can really stock your shop and you can rock and roll. So if we put this one in here, oh my gosh, you see the texture, how cute that is with the berries? I love that. So let's trim these both down. Let's just do like a 2-inch cut on them. When I say that, I'm talking about trimming the stem right here to 2 inches, okay? So if you're new, welcome. Please introduce yourself in the comments, say hello. We're so glad you are here. And let us know you're now a Blue Merino and we appreciate you being part of our family. It's very important to me to continue passing on the art of creating and supporting other creatives just like you. And we can all do that when we're a community and we work together. So hold this just like this and we're going to swirl this in our electric skillet. If you're unfamiliar with what that is, this is a little electric skillet and it's actually made for cooking, but we're using that to hold hot glue. So when I put my hot glue in it, I just really have to watch the temperature and make sure I supervise it just like if I were cooking. But the cool thing is it is so nice to keep my glue hot and I never have to pull any triggers. I'm big on that. When I was younger, I had a couple of wrist surgeries from overcrafting. I was playing sports too, so I had two things going on, but I also was making a whole ton of angels and cutting and cutting and cutting and cutting and cutting and cutting. And then when one hand got messed up, I started cutting with the other hand. So what I learned is it's better to do motions like this where you're not pulling a trigger and you can use your whole arm to do it. So that's when I switched to using like things like the electric skillet instead of just a glue gun. So you see the berries went above and they went below. Y'all, oh my gosh, this is so pretty. This is so pretty. So simple, but so pretty. So I think we're going to save these for another project because those are more than what we need. And what we're going to switch to is we're going to switch to this gorgeous pine and it's going to layer on the foreground. So when you have a wreath, you have the background, you have the middle ground, and then you have the foreground. And I like to really play with your eye. That way, you know, you can use less supplies and you can come out with pieces that are just as gorgeous with less supplies, but look clean and neat. And when you do that, you'll be shocked at the demand for your product. Okay, I'm going to pop this a little bit in front, but kind of sideways to these berries. And we're going to mix in this pine. Now what we did is we just created some depth because we've got some pine below the berries and some behind. Okay, there's a mix. So play with that when you're putting things in. They don't always have to go in the foreground. Some can go in the middle, all right? So, oh my gosh, you see the difference? You see how that looked great before, but now, boom, the quality, the value just popped up another level. All right, let's put the bottom piece on. Can you believe how quickly this is coming together? This is so fun. Now, every time you get a pick or a spray, whether you get it from Keleas.com or you buy it from somewhere else, you've got to fluff it. You've got to maneuver it. And if you can't fluff it, it's because you're buying stuff from people who carry cheaper knockoffs and you need to get better quality product where it has those wires and it's got a stronger support in it because, hey, that's what's going to make your work stand out, all right? And even if it's going on your own door, you want it to look really nice and you know, the next level. You like to craft, but you don't just, you know, you're not a good dollar store crafter. You are a next level crafter, and you want to always make it look the next level. Look at this. This is next level. That is adorable. Okay, I've got my pine cones still. We're not forgetting about the pine cones. Let's get that bow in because that's really, you're going to see this cottage country style come full force. Are you ready? I'm ready. It has a cable tie. We're going to be tying it around. And I don't like to send those all the way to the back. I kind of just send them through one little section and bring it around. So let me do that. It's a little tricky. Maybe you can see here. See, I really don't want it showing all the way through the back, so I just take a little section, especially on the side. I don't want to see it. Okay, so we kind of hide it in there. See it coming through? Now I'm going to grab the end of the cable tie. And you might consider 12-inch cable ties for the backs of your bows. They're just a little easier to work with. When we were doing really high production on Etsy, and that's all I did before I started teaching, was selling thousands of wreaths every year, hundreds every month. What I would do is save ourselves some time by getting that longer cable tie in the back. Look how cute this is! Now this is a really full funky bow. So what you've got to do is get in here and spread it out and make, oh my gosh, so cute. It looks so fresh, so cottagey, so really, really, really cute. Now take your pine cones. That's going to be our last little touch. And we're going to want to use those kind of tucked in here to the bow for a little bit of fun. And they're each on their own little stems. So take and get them in here, get them in the electric skillet, and let's just put one on the bottom of the bow here, right down. Oh, that's so cute. And one right above. This is such a fun wreath to make, and you can see it's come together really, really quickly. I hope you go over to Keleas.com. Please come over and check out what we've got for you. What's new in the video library? Hey there, Blumerinos. Good to see you. It's Keleas here with Keleas.com, and look at this. Our latest kit is ready to rock and roll, guys. In this kit, you're going to make the most beautiful Christmas wreath. And look at these full 10-yard rolls of ribbon you get in here to make a stunning wreath for your front door. And it even includes the wreath base. So come on in. Let's have some fun, you guys. If you need the link to the kit, you're going to text us. Our number is 832-734-5201. Just text us the word link and you're going to get in on this kit and you will get all the supplies you see here. The only thing you'll need to do is, of course, if you want to use a bow maker, you'll need your own bow maker and some cable ties, scissors, and just a little bit of hot glue. You can see I've got my electric skillet ready to go. So I'm going to put these supplies over to the side for a moment while I pull out my bow maker. We're going to start off by making our bow first. Now, our two ribbons that come in the kit are a beautiful gold glitter. It's going to pick up this beautiful green glittery pine that we have on the spray. And of course, we've got all these gorgeous ornaments on this ribbon that also tie in beautifully with our picks that come in the kit. And I'm going to start off with the beautiful bold ribbon in the back, and we're going to make what's called a funky bow, basically. So you will need wire cutters and a way to cut the ribbon. Of course, I use my scissors there. These are cable ties, and that's something else you're going to need. That will be how you take and hold the bow together. So what I'm going to do here with the ornament ribbon is just cut these at an angle like that. If you want to get fancy, you can do what's called a dovetail and fold that in half and just cut at an angle down like that. So boom, you've got a cute little tail. It's up to you how you want to do it. So I'm going to start off, I like my tails to be at 8 inches on this type of bow. So 8 inches. Come to the center and twist. And you can make this bow just holding it in your hands also, guys. You just twist and hold it in the center. So this is a smaller bow, so I'm just going to go out at 6. And we're going to do 3 loops at the back here because I want to make it really showy with this pretty ornament ribbon. Come to the center and twist, and you're going to bring those tails up and down. That's 2 on each side. Now we're ready for 3. I love this. The 3 loop bow in the back. We're going to do what we call a blast off bow. We're going to layer up some different layers here. But you need 3 of this gorgeous one in the back. Now come out here and measure that out to 8 inches, just a hair bit longer. And then fold it to the center. And I'm going to cut at an angle up to the corner. Okay? So now I have 1 tail up and 1 tail down. A funky bow means the tails are going up and down. And they just have a lot of whimsicalness to them, which goes great with these ornaments going up and down. Now I'm going to add a second tail in there at 16 inches. So this is measured from the 8 to the 8 on my bow maker. And then I'm going to dovetail both of these. So you can dovetail them at once if you just stack them up. Stack them up, turn them, cut them from the angle down. Okay? And then you'll have 2 dovetailed ends, and we're going to add that in for our second tail. So I'll just put that right down the center, scrunch it, and that way I have 2 tails to up and 2 down. And the reason I want that is I've got this gorgeous gold to put on top, and I want that to layer behind it. So next step, grab your gold ribbon, and this is our blast off bow. So we go 3 loops, then 2, then 1. So this is our 2 loop section of the bow. So we'll just dovetail it, cut it right down, and I'll bring this piece in just a little bit shorter than that last tail, give it a twist. Literally, guys, the bow is the most time-consuming part of this project. You're going to be able to rock this out. This is such a super cute kit and very easy for beginners. And you can always just use the ball picks if you don't want the bow in there. You can do whatever you want when it comes to your design. Now, these are about 5.5, and I'm doing 2 loops on each side. And then we're going to take and put our other tail, and this tail will go down. You see how pretty that is in there? It's just a neat contrast to have that meshy type glitter on top. Ooh, so juicy, guys. Juicy ribbon, Blue Merinos. I love it. Now we come in with our last little loop in the front. And this time I'm going to have this tail go this way. Just take and dovetail that one too. And we'll bring it, just a shorty, 4 inches, little cute little tail. Boom, coming up. Now I am going to take and do this loop at about 4 also. So not just a nice little tight loop. This is our 1 twist and scrunch when you get back to the middle. Bring those up and down. Look how cute it layers up like that. So pretty. And I'll dovetail this last one. And cut from the fold up. Pretty, pretty. I love it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take it off the bow maker. So go a little slow here. Take your time. Cable tie runs right beside the dowels. You guys, if you need a link to the bow maker, just send us the word bows on our text list at 832-734-5201. You could also send us the word kit if you want to grab this kit. 832-734-5201, and that is texting. So it's texting on your phone, just like you would a friend. Text us here at Keleas.com, and we can send you those links automatically back to help you out. If you're already on our text list, just open us up as a contact on your phone and send us the word kit, and we will shoot it back to you. Okay? Isn't that pretty? It's looking good. All fluffed up, all good to go. I'm going to pull this off and move it to the side. Now, you're going to need to add a cable tie to the back because that's how we're going to put it on our wreath when we're all done. You can put a wire in the back also, but I prefer the cable ties. So those don't come in the kit. You'll need to provide your own of those. But you can use a wire also. Okay, I like to put the gold down the middle for just a sparkle. Right up the center would be so cute. And we're doing that to hide our cable tie. So what you want to do is about a 10 to 12 inch piece of ribbon. We're going to take and fold it on its side and run that down the middle. And that just hides the plastic part of the cable tie. You won't see it. You'll have a nice finished center, y'all. If you're in design school, you know how much I really believe and talk about the details. They matter so much. And this is a detail. It's a detail in our design. So we really want to take advantage of popping that glitter ribbon in there. Okay, and if you need the link for design school, you know you can get on our list, our wait list when class opens again. Just send us the word link for that one. And it'll shoot you that link for our class where you can learn how to do higher level floral designs. This is a great starter, but we can take you to the next level when you're ready. Okay, our bow is good to go. Now let's grab out all the rest parts of our kit. We have our 2 rolls of ribbon. Here's our peck. Here's our wreath and our large spray. So I'm going to put the bow to the side, and I'm going to show you the easiest trick to deal with this large pick so you don't feel overwhelmed in its placement. Now, I'm going to make this, the bow is going to go up here in this design. So I want this to be very showy and really sassy up here. So what I'm going to do is we're literally just going to do a shift on this, okay? So take and cut this tail of the wire off. We don't need that. So just cut that one off. And then what you're going to do next is I'm going to alternate these down. I'm just going to shift their direction. Isn't this so easy? Shift their direction, and we're going to leave what we call a little bow zone here where we'll be adding our bow. Okay, so this is the top, And this is the bottom of our wreath. This is just such a sweet little recipe, easy to do. You're going to love it. Now, all in one swoop, we're going to be able to attach this pick with this bow. I love these kind of things because they're a no-brainer. You're not going to have any supplies really left except for ribbon, which you can add to your tree to coordinate. Take that cable tie, grab that spray, and go through the grapevine so you make one big cluster with everybody, okay? So this one cable tie is doing double duty. It's holding the wreath on the base, the actual swag on the base of the wreath, as well as holding our bow together. Now, take a second. Pull these pieces up through here. That's really important. We call this breaking the plane of the base. You really want to break the plane to let this extend out and be gorgeous. Look at this. Look at this. Was that fast and easy? We still have this cute little pick, and there's a couple little things you can do with it. You can put it down here and have it kind of sass out down here and make a little another bow. So cute. Opposite bows are super cute. Because we're making this on the 14-inch wreath base, I like to just add this one in right in here to kind of extend that line from top to bottom. So let's do that. Let's trim this and we'll put that in there. And I'm telling you, just like this, quick and easy. We're under 12 minutes here, guys. We are making our own wreath with one of the wreath kits here from Keleas.com. I'm going to push that in to the grapevine. That's got a little glue. These beautiful balls are popping out with the ribbon. And listen, you can add tails if you want more things coming in. You've still got quite a few yards of gold and this one left from the kit. You can add it however you want, guys. All right, make sure you text us at 832-734-5201. Send us the word kit. We'll shoot you the link for this one, and you can make your very own. Y'all, I'll see you next time. Let's go have more fun with flowers, and Merry Christmas, guys.